All right, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Welcome to Nothing Is Obi South Texas Golf Podcast episode number 218 tonight. I have on a good friend tonight. Fan favorite Ally Trevino is going to come on tonight, and we're just going to catch up. She's got a lot of things going on in regards to playing some amateur tournaments. High school season is upon us, and I just want to hear how everything's going, guys. So make sure we want to thank several people here before we go. All right, and Ally's hopping on right now. We'll get her on here in a little bit right now. Ally, I see that you're calling right now. We'll get you on right here. Hey, guys, don't forget, FOREBROS Tour is being brought to you by and presented by... sorry, guys. Nothing Is Obi South Texas Golf Podcast is being presented by FOREBROS Tour. Never golf alone again. Don't forget, guys, to check us out. We're on Unknown Golf. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. Instagram, we are everywhere, guys. We're everywhere. Make sure you hit us up and make sure you check us out, guys. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on. It's a great time to be a FOREBRO. We have so many things going on. I just got done playing La Cantera. The guys are at Randolph this weekend, coming off TPC, coming off the Quarry. Banger of a schedule for you guys. Never golf alone again, guys. All right, hit up FOREBROS Tour, membership first, base group. Man, I'm so thankful for their sponsorship and presenting of Nothing Is Obi South Texas Golf Podcast. And don't forget, guys, hey, we're coming live from the Texas Chancla studios. Big ups to our guy, Jesse Hernandez, all right? That's right, the Texas Chancla, man. He had to get several calls from me, man. He's such a great guy, a great person. I'm so thankful to have him sponsorship of the Texas Chancla Studios. We're coming live. If you have any problems in regards to DWI, criminal court cases, personal injury, he's your man. Make sure you hit him up at jessehernandezlaw.com. Ally's joining twice. Let's see right there. All right, let's see. I got it right here. Ally, I got you right here. No, don't worry. You look great. There you go right there. All right. You're good. You're on, Ally. We got you.
Hi.
Okay, we got you. We're good. All right. So I've already introed the show. I'm gonna play my intro video, and then we'll bring you on. We got it.
Okay.
I got you on here twice actually. So, but okay. You got off on the other one. All right. Okay. Again, thanks for coming on tonight. I appreciate it. We'll chat here in a bit.
This Fairway Ed from Corpus Christi, Texas. Oh, you're listening to Nothing Is OB.
Man, this game is crazy. You know, you come out here 1 week, you look like a major champion, the next week you look like a 25 handicapper from Crabapple, North Dakota.
Right there, my Alice boys.
Let's go.
Goyo.
3 shots, 4 par, I just do 2, 1 putt, par 4, birdie, woo-hoo, new driver, info,
My
replace,
interviews
into, par
gonna
5,
have a
fairway,
banger
what
for
you
you.
fin do? Think I'll try to get on into, start right, good line, good view, it drew, shooter McGavin, 2 thumbs that's up high and 2 fingers pointed at you, pew pew, fairway to green, conk off that I'm playing, sometimes these par 3 green look like an island, I'm punching to keep it on dry land, at least I'm not trying.
All right, man, and look, Ally. Now that I hop on, now you're off. All right, guys, and she's back. We were back. She's back. She's off now. All right, there you go. Hey,
Sorry.
that's all right. Now she's back. All right, guys, episode 218, Nothing Is Obi South Texas Golf Podcast. Ally Trevino, how are we doing tonight, girl?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Well, you know, I was sending you text, hey, coming in hot. Man, it's just, I had a day. Let's put it that way. I had a day.
Yeah, I know. Tell me more about it.
Well, man. Well, recently back at work, so I'm playing catch up. I'm in the catch up game. I had a golf coach text me this morning. Man, I'm not feeling too good. Would it be possible? And I'm like this. No, it wouldn't be possible. You need to be out there. And I said,
Yeah.
look. And then I had another coach tell me about track, and I said, man, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me,
I know. Whatever has been like going around, like I caught it, and then we had 36 holes on Monday, and then we had a tournament yesterday, and we're supposed to have practice tomorrow, and I have to go to like a funeral tomorrow, but I'm like, y'all, I have practice. Like we have to do this. So yeah, it can definitely be tough, but you got to figure it out.
We're talking about practice.
I know, it's practice.
Talking about practice. Well, hey, thanks so much for being on tonight, because you know what, I'm curious, right? So I played at the Cubby the other day, and it's like the one of the number one. I mean, I put it on. What did I put on TikTok, right? and the number one private course in Texas. And no, it's not. No way. No, you know what? And I love it because it started chatter, right? Well, I had this really nice. I'm gonna get her card here in a little bit, but I had this really nice lady. Like, just man, I was just chatting it up with her, and she looked like a gamer. She had on so because. Do you know what the no is about going and playing at country clubs, like in regards to your wardrobe? You're a fashionista. Do you know what the no is?
Would it be like you have to wear a collared shirt, like no jeans? I feel like that those are pretty
I
typical.
think those are typical in regards to the courses, but people tell me they can tell you're an outsider or you don't belong there or you're not, you're a guest when you wear black pants or black shorts to play at a country club. That's one of the things I heard. Like you cannot, or that's like a dead giveaway. That hey, like you're not from here, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like
I,
this.
I, I had no idea.
I was thinking about that, right? And I'm playing with my sponsor, the Texas Chancla out there. And I asked him that same question, right? I said, "Do you know what like you're not supposed to do at a country club in regards to your wardrobe?" And he said, "Well, no, I'll tuck your shirt in, whatever, kind of same things, right?" And I said, "Well, they tell me it's black pants or shorts." And I said, "As we see anybody around at the little, the halfway house and all that other stuff," I said, "Look, just kind of just look at everybody." Well,
Yeah.
he was the only one wearing black shorts,
Oh my gosh. Well,
So,
I've obviously never belonged to a country club, so I don't have the in on that, but
well, see, I'm
that's
just, hey,
good to
follow
know.
follow me for more tips. Follow me for more tips.
I will have to.
So tell us, your season started, right? You're a high school coach, and hey, kind of. So now all the reins, everything, responsibility, everything is falling on you this year. How's the
Mhm.
season going so far?
Oh man, it is definitely a roller coaster. So I'm at O'Connor High School. We have 30 kids, and I don't have an assistant coach. I think this is the first time that O'Connor has not had an assistant coach in probably 2 decades. I mean, it's been a really long time. It's such a strong program. So they've always had really good people, staffed with it. But this year, it was just kind of a perfect storm. I know that we are currently, the whole district is going through like a budget cut year. And the old coach that quit, he ended up quitting in a way that didn't allow for a whole lot of time to hire another person. And so when everyone kind of finally got their ducks in a row, there wasn't a teaching allocation. And so they were trying to get people to come after school to coach golf. And then it wasn't just golf, it was also football. And I believe it was tennis and track. They all, like, we have a whole bunch of coaches that are short. And so they said, okay, well, we're going to get you a golf coach, but they're going to coach football in the fall. And then they'll coach golf in the spring and they'll come after school and do that. And so it's just kind of been one of those things where and I'm very supportive. My admin has been amazing. Our head coaching staff has been so helpful and supportive. It's just for one reason or another, like I just haven't had the luxury of having another person with me this year. And so I've been kind of going at it on my own. And luckily, my parents have been so amazing. They've been so helpful. But like it's been a year and it's not even March yet. And so
Right? It feels like we're at the end, right? It feels like,
it
hey, like
does.
it
It
feels
really
like it, but hey, but we ate. It hasn't even not spring break, right? Spring break.
I know, I know. But no, the kids have been so amazing. We've been doing really well at tournaments. Like I told you earlier, we played 36 holes on Monday, and that was the first time that I had scheduled a tournament where the boys and the girls, they both played, but they were at different locations. And so like my girls were at Brackenridge, my boys were at Silverhorn. We played 36 holes, and I was barely able to breathe through my nose at that point. You know what I mean? So with whatever little bug has been going around, like it's just been I've been going through it, and so it was my first day without Afrin, and so I was kind of like getting the urge after a while.
Right,
But
right. You're like this man. Like, just do it. Hey, just keep. Hey, if it worked for you, right, just keep it going. Keep
yeah,
it going.
I had my bottle of Vicks in my backpack, and I just like put it under my nose every.
They're like this. What's going? I know what you mean, right? Like me, like I'm coming into work, and again, we're outside, right? Like I'll go from like and right now with the dormant season, so it's dry, like it's crazy. It's right. It's crazy dry out at the course, and so I'll go to track practice, softball, and baseball practice, and then the next morning, man, I'll be bloodshot, and
Yes.
I got the school counselor, rough night, coach, and I was like, I was like, yeah, like I couldn't sleep, man. My nose was running. I was like, man, like, like, but it looked like I was on a binger all night, right? I'm like, I wish I was, right? I wish I
Yeah.
was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Same thing. And so it's just you got to get through it. And it's been a heck of a year. It really has. We're going to be going to district once we get back from spring break at the end of March, beginning of April. And I can't wait. We have goals to go to state, and hopefully we can fulfill those goals. But I mean, we'll just see. It's going to be up to the kiddos.
Like, man, like I thought I was busy. I thought I was busy, but you're telling me that, like, having both your teams play 36 holes. Now, you've worked with a lot of junior golfers. Like, what now for us, like our bodies, I guess we got to kind of prep, and we really got to get ourselves up for, hey, we got to take a break, we got to go back, and sometimes the bones get stiff and things of that nature. But how are these teenagers, these 15 to or 14 to 18-year-olds, how are they able to handle it? Are they good at it, or they struggle, or what's the deal?
I will say that they don't know what they don't know, right? And so like today, we ran 2 miles. That's kind of like our workout regimen for the week. We don't really have a whole lot of time to like go into the gym. And even when we go into the gym, we don't have the equipment to be able to do like a good golf full on workout. And especially not with 30 kids, with me being the only person there to monitor. So like before Christmas, we ran a mile and I would time them. And then their semester exam was, you got to beat your average time. And so after we came back from Christmas, I'm like, all right, guys, when you guys go and play golf, you're walking up to 5 miles. And so if we can't run 2 miles, then we are not going to be able to hit the golf ball just as strong as we are off the first tee for the 18th tee. And so I do make them run 2 miles. And so like today the kids were like, well, miss, like coach, we walked 36 holes on Monday. Can we just like not run today? And then I had my other golfers, girl golfers, they played in a tournament yesterday and they placed. They did so good. And they're like, yeah, coach, like we placed, like, can we just not run today? And I'm like, you know what, guys, I am so proud of how y'all did this week. Like y'all did phenomenal. But you know what got us here is running those 2 miles. So we're gonna fucking run this mile. So they were just like, oh, and they already know. And so, I have to push them because when their little bodies get tired, they're like, okay, let's stop. We're done. And I'm like, no, you got to push through that. Like once you push through that, you're going to realize like, oh, I can still do this. And I actually have two of my senior boys, they committed to playing college golf. And so as they're running through the track, I'm like, hey, are y'all ready for this next year? Because, you're going to wish that y'all only had to run 2 miles after y'all get done with 6 a.m. workouts and, going to school all day and then playing 18 holes and doing this consecutively Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then going and traveling, you know what I mean? And so I've kind of already told them like, hey, like, what we're doing right now is a walk in the park. Like you better prepare over the summer. You better not stop running. I've given them some apps to look up just so that way they can kind of keep in the training and keep their bodies trained and ready to go. And, just telling them, hey, like y'all need to start playing 36 holes on the weekly because that's what y'all are gonna practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You might have Saturday to travel. Sunday is the practice round. Then you play 36 on Monday and then 18 on Tuesday. And I was like, that's the average. And you cannot let up. Like you cannot let your scores reflect if you are tired, if you are worn out or what. And I said, you have to keep grinding. So.
Dude, that's the title I gave of the episode, grinding it out, because I know you, and I love to hear that because again, like man, you gave me I don't know if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it through man, you gave me some goosebumps right there because I don't. I'm more admin now. I'm doing less coaching.
Yeah.
Like I'm more of like a volunteer firefighter, right? That's all I'm doing is I'm putting out fires, or trying to at least. I think in some cases I'm pouring gasoline on some, right?
I'm sure
and I love to hear that, right? And I'm curious, and I put you into the group of the great golf coaches, high school area golf coaches I've had on the show, and you are definitely into that group. And man, like I hear that you're not coaching the female, you're not coaching the male, you're coaching like a golfer, like you're coaching the athlete, or not even a golfer, you're coaching the athlete, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I think that's why I think you're a fan favorite and everybody loves you because like man, like she's like a dude, but just like a really hot chick, right? And so it's like I always try to take something away from great coaches, and I'm curious because y'all had a lot of success in being an assistant coach. and now you're just the one here. You played college golf. You know what? You can still hit the ball around. You still grind. You still compete on an AM level at a high level. Like, do these parents, now that you're the head coach, do they look at you like through a different lens than maybe they did previous years as an assistant?
So I'm not quite sure if they look at me differently like between last year and this year, but I have had some parents come to me and they're just like in awe, because I qualified early in the semester and I put it on the kids. I'm just like, just like you guys, like I am always trying to better my game. Like I'm never gonna get to a point where I'm just like, no, I'm the greatest. I'm just gonna stop practicing. Like that's not how golf is. And so I did have one mom come to me and she was just like, I'm in awe of the fact that you are still following your dreams. You're a mother and you're coaching and teaching my kid. And that was just very, like, when I read that message, I was just like, I'm not crying. You're crying. Like, stop it. Like, you know what I mean? Because it was just very, her words were very kind. And I really did appreciate that. And it made me kind of take a step back and just kind of reflect, like, I am doing a lot, but this is what I like to do. So it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? And so, just yesterday I had another teacher who was actually across the hall from me. She was like, "Hey, I need to talk to you about your golfer." And I'm just like, "What?" And in my
Oh,
mind, I'm just like, "What did this?" And he did so good on Monday in the 36 holes. He had played Sunday and shot like a 94, and he was like, "I want to quit golf." And then he played 36 holes on Monday. The first round he shoots like an 84, and then he comes back the second round and shoots 73. And I was just like, dude, like you are peaking at the right time. Like, I'm so proud of you, like for not giving up. And so then I get this text message yesterday and I text him right away on our Sports U app. And I was just like, hey, what happened this morning? And I was like, dot, dot, dot. Before you answer, I just want you to know that I know the truth. I always know the answer to every question that I ask you, but I just want to see what you're going to tell me. And
you're acting like a real teacher now. Like, you acting like
well,
the real
I
teacher's coming
was,
out of you. The
well,
mom, the mom, everything's coming out.
but what was crazy is I had just had this conversation with my son the night before, and so like it was just
You've been
on.
here. It was still fresh, right? It was fresh,
It
right?
was. It really was. And so he was like, "Well, I had to charge my laptop," and I was like, "Dude, it's first period. Like, how do you not charge it the night before?" And he
Uh,
was like, "Well, I didn't know." And I'm like, "Bro, like you have to." Oops, sorry. I was like, "You have to charge it the night before." And then he was like, "Well, I went to sorry,
no,
I
you're good.
went to I had to move seats and then he asked me for my name. And then when I told him my real name, he didn't believe me. And I'm like, what? I was like, how do you not have your ID on you? Is this not school policy? And I was like, you know what? Regardless of what happened, these are the three things that you're going to do moving forward. And regardless of what, your teacher tells me, you need to make sure that you do these three things every day. Because if you want to go to district and you want to play well, you have to take care of this stuff in the classroom first and foremost. And I was like, these are non-negotiables. These are simple things that you can do. Charge your computer at night, go to the restroom. There's no reason to give this teacher any ammunition to not let you play at the district and regional level, especially when you're making such great strides in golf. And I was just like, you have to shape up or you're going to ship out. And I was like, the second thing that I need you to do is I need you to call your mom. I was like, where are you at right now? And he's like, I'm at the golf course. I said, call your mom right now and tell her exactly what happened because I'm going to call her. And if I have to call her, she already better know what's going to happen because if you're anything like my son, which I know that he is, I was like, I want to hear it from you first before I, talk to the teacher. And he was like, yes, ma'am. I was like, I'm giving you 7 minutes, so hurry up. And, sure enough, I called mom and I was just like, this is what happened. These are the things that we're going to do. And she's just like, thank you so much. Like I tell this kid all the time, but it just hits differently when you say it. And I'm like, I know. And so, it just, I am a mom. I'm a mom. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. You can't do any of these things without being everything.
See, Ali, but I think that's why I told you I put you into that group with Brent McQuiston, with Coach Poppy. I put you into those groups, with coaches like that, right? Because you're coaching the whole person, right? And it's almost like the golf is super secondary, right?
Oh yeah.
And,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think and I think that's the thing, right? And that's why I kind of man, like I texted you the other day. I said, "Hey, stud, how's it going, man?" As soon as I was like, "Oh, man," I was like, "You know what? Let me put on my headphones. Let me close the door. Let me put a towel underneath." I was like, "Man," I was like, "My office is not soundproof, right?" And you know what? It's like, but we see things, right? We see things, and then what do we have to do after dealing with all that? We have to check those emotions at the door, and
Yes.
you know what? And what do we have to do when we go to the course? we got to give the kids the better version of ourselves, right? We got to, right? It's like, you know what? It's like today, I'm dealing with all this stuff, and I got some kid. He walks into track practice late and with a bag of Chex Mix, and you know what? I again, everyone's looking at me. I calmly just, hey man, can I get that? Let me get that. Thank you. But they're mine. So do me a favor, man. Go sit down. But I want to work out. I said, bro, just do me a favor. Said for your sake, do me a favor, sit down, right?
Yeah, for your
And then hey,
sake.
and then again, the show must go on, right? The show must go on. And then, you know what? Afterwards, right? We take a break, and then we hit our different stations or whatever. And I said, "Do you want to work out? Do you want to be here?" I said, "Then come on, bro. We'll be out here." It took a while, but we got him going, right? Well, then I go to the mom, because then from track we go to baseball, right? And so I go to the mom, and I go up to her, and I said, "Hey, here, these are your sons." And she's just like this. "Oh, that's dad. I don't give him that. That's dad." And I said, "Well, these are your sons." I said, "Well, I'm giving them to you because he ate it. He was eating them as he was walking in late to track practice." And she's just like this. Normally,
Yeah,
they have a lot to say. And you know what?
I do. You're right.
And you know what? It was very quiet.
Oh, I
Very
bet.
quiet. And I didn't have to say much. And I'm sure, like, we just had our team meetings, right? And sometimes people in team meetings, they feel like you're calling them out, right? Or you're talking directly to them. And one thing I like to say in the meetings, I said, look, I said, if you think like I'm talking about you, I am. Like I said that.
Yeah.
Like if you
Oh,
think I
yeah.
am, I was like, I'm not talking about you per se, but if you feel that way, then this is for you. This is for the
Right.
people in the back. And so I just, and then you know what? My daughter twisted her ankle right before track meet. She runs the 1600s, 100
Oh my
meter.
God.
So it's right at the beginning, right at the
Yeah.
beginning. And you know what? My wife had somebody cover her class so she could be there to watch. So
Oh.
what do you think my wife is doing?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And I'm just like this. I can't. You know what? Hey, I can't, right? And then I haven't eaten. My wife's
Yeah.
fasting today because of Lent. We're
Oh,
both hangry, and I'm just like, right? Like just, and then again, but who's depending on you to put all those to the side? The kids.
kids. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And it can be difficult, and you're absolutely right. Sometimes like I will go overboard and I'll have to be like, you know what? I am so sorry. That I have a lot going on and that is not your fault. Give me like 2 minutes. And they see that, and they realize that I'm human, and that's kind of how we bond, right? Because I know that they're gonna have times where they're like that too. So for them to see me, in a very vulnerable state, I'm just like, give me, and they see how I'm trying to like do a reset, then they're like, okay, maybe I should do that when I feel that way. And so it's good for them to kind of see us like that, but it doesn't happen very often, I'll tell you that much.
No, it does. It doesn't. And I just so we've been doing this in the game a while, right? We've been doing this in the game a while, and we've got to see good people do it too in front of us,
Yes.
right? Like and you're like, well, that style doesn't work. Like I'm gonna wear my heart on my sleeve, like on both sleeves. Like I'm gonna wear long sleeves. Like I'm just like I was like, you're gonna see it all. And so that's my question to you, right? Like as what has been, I guess, your kind of theme in regards to this year, because now that hey, that this is your throne, like you are at the top, and I know you've worked really hard working at an elementary, doing middle school, working high school, coaching collegiate, all while being a mom and still trying to play and still trying to show everybody, hey, you still got some skin in the game. What has been your theme like for your team going towards this year?
So I think my biggest theme is, you mentioned that, I'm trying to show people. I do what I do because I do it for myself. At the end of the year, we always have like the coaches, they're like, okay, well, you need to do this self-reflection piece. And it's always like this huge, long, drawn out process, right? So it's like green, yellow, or red, right? Like if you were to rate yourself, how would you rate yourself on communication? And it's like if you're yellow, you don't have to write anything, right? If it's green, you have to tell me why. Or if it's red, you have to tell me why. And I'm like, dude, at the end of the year, I'm exhausted. Like I ain't nobody got time for that, right? And so when I did my reflection piece, my coordinator was like, Ally, you put yourself for all yellow for everything. Like, I know you do a lot of great things with your program. And I'm just like, you know what? At the end of the day, if I have to explain to you why I'm a good communicator, or if why I do what I do, like, then I'm not very good at my job. But like, I do things because like at night I'm able to sleep. I've put in 110%. I've given you everything that I could possibly give to this program. And if at the end of the day you don't see that and it requires me to write down what I have to tell, like in this program, then I'm not doing enough. I was like, as far as I'm concerned, if I have to spend time and write this information down, then it's not worth it to me. I'd rather just tell you that I'm all yellow and that we're good to go. But by you telling me that you think I am more than just yellow, like that's in itself is fine. But I don't do this for the accolades. I don't do this for the trophies. I do this for the kids. And at the end of the day, like I do it because I want to do it. I don't do it for anything else except because I want to do it.
Damn, man. Hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. Give me that O'Connor bag, all right? Give me that O'Connor
Dude.
swag. I know it's the best. It's the best.
Dude, but I will say that my son, he is in 6th grade and he came home the other day and he was like, Mom, guess what I'm going to play next year? And I was like, I hope you're going to fucking play basketball because we put a shit ton of money into all of that we've been going to.
Like I don't want to hear
last year.
anything else, right? I don't want to hear anything else.
And so he's like, no, I'm going to play basketball, but I'm going to play golf too. And I'm like, hold on. Because he's quit playing golf twice before the age of 10. Like I had bought him like $700 clubs and he's like, you know, Mom, I'm just not feeling this. And then he like came at me again and he was like, Mom, I think I'm going to play. And I'm like, don't play with my emotions because I'm about to like drop, you know, some serious cash on you and get you some new clubs because he grew like freaking 12 inches. And so he's like, oh, I want my name on my bag. I want to play golf.
Mom,
So
that's the apple doesn't fall far from the tree right there.
dude, he knew exactly how to tug on my heartstrings. And so I spent like $1,200 and like, I wasn't even, you know, ashamed about it. I was just like, no, we're going to get you the best. And then he was like, I think he's maybe hit those clubs 3 times. And I was just like, and then now all of a sudden he's like, I'm going to play golf in middle school because my friends are going to do it. And
It's
you're
cool.
the golf coach.
It's cool, right? It's cool.
And I was like, okay, all right. And so I'm like, when do you want to practice? And he's like, I don't need to practice, Mom. And I was like, the fuck you are? Like, you are going to go and you are going to, and he's like, well, my mom's the golf coach. And I'm like, who cares if your mom is an astronaut? Like, that doesn't mean that you are going to be, you have to fucking practice. And he's like, well, I don't know if I'm going to play golf. And I'm like, okay. And so, you know, like we'll go and I'll tell him, I'm like, all right, you need to put your hand here. And he's like, Mom, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, my bad. I only get paid to do this for a living, but what do I know? The second somebody says something similar to what I said, he's like, oh, yeah. So, I mean, it just goes to show that, you know, parents don't know anything regardless of who you are, but it is what it is.
Right. And so, okay. So as I got some comments right here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and chiming in. Look, Paul Sharp, sounds like you're coaching my son, right? You know, so it's like, and well, they got a great coach out there. Paul's out in Piper, you know, so they got and
wonderful program.
And man, dude, have you seen their facilities? Like they have hitting bays and a putting green for their squad.
So
I'm like this. I was like, what college was that? Like, and he goes, no. He goes, no. We're out here on a Sunday. This is the high school. And I'm like,
yeah. So when Northside, we are starting to like put, you know, facilities together. And when we were starting to do that, they were like, no, we need to go to Piper. We need to go and check out their facility because they were the example of what we kind of wanted to base our stuff off of. Yeah, no, their program is amazing. They have great coaches. I know the head coach at Piper used to be the coach at O'Connor. And so they're all good people. They run a really great program.
So why don't you tell people out there, and you know what, you always keep things really honest, and I want you to keep it, or I want you to keep that even keel, right? I want you to stay Ally.
Okay.
In regards to your tournaments, is it about just kind of like applying or just saying, hey, we want in, or is it about who you know to get into these good tournaments and to get your kids like, or is it just like, hey, we want as many teams as we can because we're trying to, I guess, like manage our budget and raise money for our team?
So it's kind of both, honestly. Like as I mentioned earlier, that we're in a budget cut year, and so Like our district told us that like, hey, golf is going to get hit and you guys are going to have to scale back a little bit, but we didn't quite know what that meant. And so like, I'm gonna be real. They sent us a spreadsheet and they were just like, how much are you gonna spend in the fall semester? And we have 30 kids. And so when I did everything, I was like, we're gonna spend $25,000. And so they were like, okay, O'Connor, all extra and everything because Coach Trevino is there. We can't give you the full 25, but we'll give you 19. And I was like, perfect, because we always have to do fundraising and we have to shake babies and kiss hands. It is what it is. And so we had a badass fundraiser and we did so good. We raised like $15,000. And so I was like, dude, we are golden in the fall. And so then in the spring they said, okay, here's the same spreadsheet. How much are y'all going to spend? And I mean, it was pretty comparable. I want to say it was like 24,000. But they gave me 4,000. And I was just like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do with this. Like, I can't do anything.
Hey, car wash. Let's do a
No,
car. Hey, let's do car wash. Let's do car wash. Hey, plate sell. Plate sell.
we had so many wonderful donations in the fall. I couldn't ask people for more money. You know what I mean? And so
It's tough, right? Right. Once they've already like, you want to go back to like that's tough. That is tough.
it is. And so, I had to put on some tournaments and I mean, we did our absolute best. And then in the ninth inning, I had a parent just say, I own a company. I want to give you a buttload of money. And literally when I got that message, I started crying because I was just, I didn't know how I was going to finish out the rest of this year. Like I was thinking to myself, we are allowed to play in 8 tournaments. We're going to have to cut that down to maybe 6. And I had gone to my athletic director and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I know next year I'm going to put on more tournaments. We're going to do, a whole bunch of different fundraisers. And so like, I'm already planning for next year. I was like, but I need like a solid $5,000. Like, can you help me? And they were just like, Ally, like, our hands are tied. Like we really don't have any money. And I was just like, we are the winningest program in Northside. Our boys have won district on and off, I think 10 out of the past 12 years. And I was just like, you mean to tell me that we're not going to be able to send these boys? Like I have boys who are going to go off to college. They're not going to be able to like play in the full 8 tournaments. I just like that. And I was, complaining to some of my colleagues. And I was just like, I'm a product of Northside. The only reason why I am where I am is because of the middle school program and the high school program. Had I not been able to fully take advantage of those, I would not be here. And my high school coach never said, I'm sorry, Ally, we're not going to be able to go in this tournament because I don't have any money. Like that was never an issue. And so I don't want to be able to have to tell my kids that. And I was just like, you know what? We'll just figure it out. Like I'm just going to go ahead and enter us in. We are going to do what we have to do. And like, honestly, like God just I feel like he just answered my prayers. I really did, because like it came out of nowhere. It was non-solicited because I was just like, all of these people have already donated so much. I even got with, I found out that when we were going to Cedar Creek that we weren't going to have our normal tea times in the afternoon. And so I'm real good with the guys because we go there so much. And I was like, who the fuck took my tea times? And he was like, he was like, it's the Wounded Warriors. And I was like, shut the fuck up. I was just like, I have been trying to get my kids with the Wounded Warriors out at Lackland, but the drive from O'Connor to Lackland is like legit 40 minutes. And I was like, it's just too long. We're wasting too much time. And so I was going to get with Robert and I was going to have my kids work with, the Wounded Warriors because my grandpa taught me how to play. He is retired military. I still have a standing Saturday game at Lackland every weekend. And those guys, they just helped shape who I am. They watched me play from when I was 13 until me turning 40 this past month. And so
You can tell you got a little bit of the military tongue in you. You got that you got that leather. You got that thick ass skin. You're tougher than a $2 steak. Like you ain't scared. You ain't scared of shit. You're not.
I am not scared. I will be respectful all day long and twice on Sunday, but I will let you know exactly how I feel. And so like, because I got so much from them, I wanted And, during COVID, we that was never even an option. And so I was like, who the fuck is it? What's his phone number? Like, I stalked him. I asked everybody who I knew.
Yes,
Like, I was like, who
yes.
is this guy? And so luckily I got in contact with him, and I was like, please, like, let us carry their bags. Like, let us just walk, we'll tend the pin, like, whatever it is. I just want my kids around them. Just so that way we can, be of any type of assistance. Like, we are indebted to your service. What can we do? And they're like, Ally, like, chill. Like, if you want to come join us, we would love to have you. And so I was just like, oh my gosh. And unfortunately, they didn't have as many warriors there as I had hoped, because again, I have 30
Yeah, you got
kids.
30 kids. Oh, yeah.
And so, I had a few boys that were able to go with them. And I was just like, look, I want you guys to understand one thing. They may not have both limbs, or they may not have all of their limbs. They may talk a certain kind of way. I just need you to go, put in a little bit of work, but I need you to listen, and I need you to do whatever it is that they ask you and be respectful. And it was like, you could not have asked for a better experience from them, because they were able to talk to these warriors, and they were able to get, some stories. And I said, if you want, like, maybe ask them about their tattoos. And it was funny because one of them goes, well, I can't tell you about this one, but I'll tell you about this one. And, like, you kind of built those relationships with those guys. And, they talked about how one guy got blown up, one guy was, shot in his appendix, and like, he has PTSD, and there's just some things, and I told him, I was like, just listen to their story, because there's so much that you can learn from them. And the point that I wanted to get out of that was, my kiddos, they live wonderful lives, and they're very, very fortunate. And when we go to a golf tournament and they make like a double bogey, they're like, oh my God, my life is over. Like, this is the end. Like, and I'm just like, Papa, you have no idea. You have no idea. And so for them just to kind of have a little bit of perspective the next time that they go out to play, I felt like that was going to be invaluable to them. And it really was. They really enjoyed doing that. Like I said, I got Homeboy's phone number already. So I'm like, hey, when are y'all going to come out and play, so that way I can get other kiddos with you guys, and we can have maybe a long-standing relationship where they get to know each other, within the confines of the rules,
Oh, yeah, of course. Definitely. Oh, yeah. Hardcore.
But I mean, that was the ultimate goal, and it was achieved, and it was amazing. And so anyways, I say all that because they were like, man, everything was great. Like, what do you need? And I was just like, this is, and I'm one of those people that wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm like, we're in a budget cut year. Like, I would have loved to have just gotten my kids towels, and they're like, Ally, I got you. And today we got a delivery of Wounded Warrior towels, and I was just like, y'all are going to put these on your fucking bags, and we're going to we're going to use these, and you are going to use these until they fall off. And they're like, oh, Coach, thank you so much. And so, like, it was great. It was a great experience. We got some towels out of it, and I was just tickled pink.
See, and you know what? I wrote that down right there because, again, this is why I love having. You say that, right? So let's backtrack a little bit. You talk about your end of the year, with your athletic director in regards to your self reflection, right? But I think the thing is too is that you attend the conferences, you attend the clinics, and I guess as we do these PDs and professional developments, right? You try to stay sharp, right? We try to stay sharp and try to pick up at least amongst a lot of crap we hear. We try to pick up at least one thing, right? Is there one thing that you can take back for you and your program, or you and your community, right? And so I listen to that and I'm like, I feel like I check a lot of boxes off, and I'm just like, man, I said, I love that. Like I said, man, I have to do that. This is because, very similar, the school I'm the athletic director at, it's like, hey man, like we don't know what pressure is. Shaq said it in that one video. He's like, it's like his stepdad took him under the freeway, and to a homeless person, pointed out to a homeless person living on the side of the street, and said, you know what, after having a bad game and acting a fool, that's what pressure is, where
Right.
your next meal is going to come from.
Yeah.
Keeping the lights on,
Absolutely.
clothes on your back, clothes on your kids' back, feeding your kids. Like, that's real pressure. Like, you think being over, a tough, 5-foot left to right slider, like, you think that's tough? Like, you think that's pressure? Like, I'm going to show you what real pressure is.
Right.
And so, man, like, you hear that and you see that and you're like, Like, how can I do that for my school and my kids? Because again, what do we always want to do, right? Like, golf is just, it's just the vessel, right? It's the vessel. You want to put out good people out into the world, and you know what? Hey, be a good father, a good husband, a good mother, whatever they choose to be, whether it's a trade, whatever profession, military. Like, hey, we want to see you just give back, make this place better, right?
Right.
And so like I'm hearing that and I'm like, man, I said, I got to do this. I got to make some calls. I got to make sure I'm always talking about, yes or no, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like, we're going to be respectful. We're going to clean up after ourselves. I don't care if it's your trash, we're going to pick it up. And so, man, like I love to hear that, because you're teaching your kids, like, man, like, and to be able to handle pressure better too, like to be able to handle pressure. And
Well, and
so
I think that, a lot of times kids these days, like they're behind a screen, right? Like we've gotten away from the face-to-face contact, and so they don't know how to handle pressure. Like that's just not something that they're used to doing. Or if they are used to doing it, they're used to being like, okay, like I'm in a high pressure situation. What pill do I need to take to help me get over this? And so I just, yeah, I mean, anything that I can do. Now, on the other hand, I will say that, going through that experience with them, it was so heartfelt and it was so amazing. But on the other hand, I also want them to enjoy the luxuries of the game. So, for example, I went and played in the Brandeis baseball fundraising tournament out at Silverhorn, and it was funny because we had just gotten back from from a tournament in Concan. So I went with my boys, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We spent, all 3 days together. And then we come back. And then Sunday, I see my boys out at Silverhorn. And I'm just like, y'all go home already. And so when I saw them, I was just like, hey, by the way, I just want y'all to know that y'all are playing for second place. And that's okay. Like, just want you to know that you're going to get beat by a girl. And so
hey, you're
they're like,
you're a stick, you're a stud,
dude,
you are for
oh,
hire. You're a gun for hire. You hit
well,
from.
I mean, I get to play from the red tees,
That's
and
what I'm
that's just
saying.
not
You're a lady.
fair.
That's what I'm, that and that's what it got me intrigued by you, because that's where we met in a scramble.
Yes,
And I was
that's
like,
right.
damn. I said, this chick can bomb. I'm like, man, like ball, like
Well, so we go to Silverhorn, right? And I've told you this before on this podcast, but like I only go to tournaments unless I know that I'm going to win. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to go and waste my
that
time or my
tiger
money.
style, tiger style.
Dude, like when I heard that from him, I was hooked. But like when I go to these scrambles, like I'm gonna win. Like I'm gonna get free food, and then I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna win some prizes, and I'm gonna have a good time. Like there's just like a whole bunch of things that like I check off when I do this. And so we go, and I got told that we were gonna get paired with a Corn Ferry tour player, and I'm just like, dude, like this is gonna be awesome. And so PGA professional, I was like, I have so many questions. And so we get there and we get paired up with Curtis Reed.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
was
That's
just
right.
like,
That's right.
homeboy is a stick. Like I was like geeking out. I was telling I was telling my boyfriend, I was just like, oh my God, like he is amazing. I know his mom. Like we're gonna go have a tournament at Alsatian, in a few weeks. And I was just like, he is so amazing. Like I've always heard of him. Like if you look in, and I told him, it's like, if you look in the dictionary and you look up local legend, you're gonna see his picture right next to it. And
Yeah,
he was just
Curtis
like,
Reed.
okay. And so like when we were there, he is the most humble guy I've ever met in my entire life. He was just like talking to me about like how I coach the kids. And then he was like, how many grips do you have for chipping? And I was like, one. Like, how many do you have? He's like, I have three. And I was like, what? And so he was just like, because he's self-taught. He's never had a lesson. And so everything is just feel for him. And he's learned everything from his dad. And so he was just like, yeah, if you ever want to hit off of a tight lie, like you should do this. And I'm like, oh, like a flop shot? And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay. Like I had to put like literally everything that I knew off to the side and just like blindly jump into what he was saying. And sure as fuck, like I was just like, oh my God. Like I was like, can you come talk to my kids? And he was like, I'd love to. And so we're actually going to coordinate for him to come to Cedar Creek tomorrow. And he was like, I'm a member out at Briggs Ranch. You should bring your kids to Briggs Ranch. And I'm like, can I go to Briggs Ranch first? Like, let me test it out first, and then like
You
I'll
want to
think
make
about
sure it's safe. You got to check the surroundings to make sure it's safe for your
it's safe,
kids.
right? Like I have to, but and so just like being able to work with him, and I'm excited for the kids to be able to work with him. It's just been it's twofold, right? Like you want for them to experience, the high highs and the low lows, and just kind of get a mix of in between to see if this is something that they want to do. Because like I said, I'm an old lady. I'm already hooked. Like this is going to be something that I do like for the rest of my life. When I wake up in the morning, I'm constantly like on Instagram looking at all my golf memes and
I
posting
know
my golf.
you post some fire golf memes, man. I'm just like this. I'm like, dang. I'm like, God. It's like you make me think. You make me ponder some things golf wise, right? I'm just like this, and I said, dang. I said, man. I said, what? Who is Ally following? Like, man. I was like, this is some random golf shit. Like, what is up with this girl, right? Got a couple comments right here. Robert Vasquez, Ally Cat, right there. There you go, Rob.
My boy.
Dude, okay, so we're gonna host a tournament out there, and I'm trying to give everybody enough time to get base passes and everything because
Yeah.
you know Rob, like there's not like Rob. You know what? You got Mrs. Reed. Like there's some of the best people out there, and Rob will give you the shirt off his back.
Yes.
Like I mean, like that's just the kind of guy he is, right? And then
Yes, he is.
Paul Sharp, in regards to your funding issue, get some parents on the booster club board, and that's right.
Well,
That's always one thing, right?
yes, and I will say that our booster has been so amazing. I know that with the previous coaches, the booster clubs hadn't given anything to golf at all for like 20 years. And so with me coming in this year, I was just like, hey guys, like we need rain gear. Like this is just not like we always get like it never fails. It could not rain for like 3 months straight. And the second that we have a golf tournament, that's when it's going to rain. And so at the beginning of the year, I did ask them for rain gear and they delivered. And so again, for me to go back to the boost, and this was for 30 kids, you know what I mean? So for me to go back to the boosters and be like, hey, I need more money, I couldn't do that. And so Paul, I agree with you. And we do have some golf parents on the boosters. Our boosters are amazing. I just, with the situation that we are in this year, like I just couldn't, in my heart of hearts, I couldn't ask for more.
See, okay, so this is the thing, right? And I guess because people know, this is my love, this is my passion, right? Outside of my wife and kids, of course, and coaching, of course, right? Is that people are constantly asking me like to help them with a golf tournament or helping me, hey, can you donate something? Can you donate? And I'm like, I got to the point. I said, man, look, I try to help 4 tournaments a year, and I try, like I said, I can try. I said, but you know what? Just like you said, when you go all out for some events, you hate always trying to tap that same resource, you know what? And then
Yes.
it's like Ally, like, yes, you're the head coach at a big, I mean, y'all are 6A, right? 6A, right? Y'all are, yeah, big 6A school, year in, year out winning district titles. Like, but in the grand scheme of things, what can you do for that donor? Like what can you do, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like that the same way. I'm like, I don't have a lot of things I can give you or I can do for you, like to where, uh, like you know what? In return, hey, you're sponsoring a tournament, you're sponsoring a foursome. I cannot like continually do that, and so it's like an opportunity happened, with the sponsor of my show. Like, man, like he can do whatever he wants, whatever he can buy, he can do it. And then,
Yeah.
you know what? I saw that he posted, that Jesse Hernandez posted. He goes, hey, does any 3 of my friends want to put in $1,200 each to get us out to the Covey, right? To the Covey.
Yeah.
And out there, and I'm like this, and I side text him. I said, hey, you want to go out there? And he said, who do you know? And I said, don't worry about it. I said, don't worry about it. I said, do you want to go? And I said, I can't get you and your boys, but if you don't mind, I said, you and I can go play it. And he's like, no way. And I said, you're just going to get a random call. And it, you know
Yeah.
what? It's like, it might happen. It might never happen. I said, but you know what?
Yeah.
Now that I know it's going to happen, now that I know that, I put the wheels in motion. And then sure enough, Saturday night before Super Bowl Sunday, hey, come tomorrow, 12:30, right? And I'm like this. Hey, I text him. I said, hey, are you busy? Are you busy tomorrow? He goes, Super Bowl Sunday? Question mark. And I said, yes, tomorrow. Are you busy? And he goes, I can arrange everything to where shit can open up. I said, hey, Covey tomorrow, 12:30. Let's go. Keep your shirt
Wow.
tucked in. Hey, pop your collar, tuck your shirt in. Hey, wear some clean chones. Hey, let's go.
Wow.
And so I'm
That,
like, this. Hey, like I like this is me like taking care of my sponsor. Like, hey,
yes,
like I gotta
yes,
take. So whenever you're able to take care of somebody, you can do it,
yes.
right? But then sometimes you can't, and you don't want to burn those relationships, right? Like,
No,
but I don't mind Robert. I ask him all the time for stuff. Like, I don't mind. I don't mind because hey, Robert randomly gets some Odyssey putters that walk in. He gets some Mizuno drivers. He gets some bags, and that hey, that just they
yeah.
they randomly appear at a tournament table, right? At a gala, an auction.
Robert's one of those guys where whenever he calls, like I will stop what I'm doing and I will answer. Or if he texts me, like I will stop what I am doing and I will answer. And
See, he did that. He did that to
if
me
he ever asks me
yesterday.
for anything, like I will move mountains to try and make it work. And so he's a great guy. He has a wonderful he runs a beautiful course out at Lackland, and he's just yeah, he's my buddy.
He's the best right here. So I got some more comments right here. Sergio Avendano was the tournament at Cedar that Dick Logan was asking me about.
Was the tournament at Cedar? Was what tournament?
I guess maybe in regards to the Wounded Warriors, because Sergio
Oh,
is
yes.
okay.
So it wasn't Dick Logan, because Dick Logan was actually my high school coach, and so I did know him. So when I called Cedar and I was like, who's running the Wounded Warriors? It was a name that I had never heard of, and so I immediately called Robert and I called Coach Logan and I was like, hey, do you know this guy? And they were like, no, but let me ask around. And inside of an hour, Coach Logan was like, here's his name, here's his phone number, here's his email address. And I mean, it was pretty much all of his information short of his blood type. But I mean, like he was able to get me, he was able to
Oh
get me in
no, Robert knows every man. Like,
contact.
oh my gosh, he like. We'll ask him. I don't want to put it out there, but you know what? Robert knows a lot of things that happen at other courses, right? Like he's got ears everywhere, right? He's got ears
Yeah.
everywhere. Look, and Sergio again, right here. Robert will give you all. Robert will give
Yes.
you all of
Oh,
his clothes.
and Robert is a sneakerhead. Not like I thought I was a sneakerhead. He is like a fanatic. Sometimes he'll like just randomly send me shoes and I'm like, I hate you. I could never afford those. Like, you suck. You're never gonna wear them. Like, you should just give them to me. But he is a sneakerhead to the max.
And see, and like he's hey my brother. Like I mean, he's
Yeah.
super cool, right? He's so cool, and you know what? Like, because I'm trying to get into the golf industry at least for like a side gig, right? I'm trying to set up my summer gig, and I'm like, hey, you know what? It's golf is almost like it's cheaper to do drugs, right? Than to play golf, right? You know that. Think
Oh
about
yeah.
okay, Ali. Think about that, right? So think about it. Let's just say for the last 10 years, let's just think about it. If you never played golf, think about how much money would be in the bank.
Dude, do you know how many purses I would have? I would have so many more purses, so many more shoes. I don't even know what would I do with my time? Like I don't even sleep more. Like I don't even know. I can't even tell you. That's not even a thought. That
I
no.
think I think about that because you know what? I take all these tax write-offs right for the podcast, and I'm looking at. I got like a pile, like it looks like a pile of receipts, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, like I'm glad my wife doesn't look at them. Like she don't look at them, right? She doesn't look at them right here. All right, Ali. So you know what? So let's get back on track right here in regards to coaching in the season. What do you think your odds are for your boys and girls in regards to in district? Do you think you have like a really good shot, or do you think you're gonna have to catch lightning in a bottle? What's the deal?
So we've had a very uncharacteristic like year because it's only been me. So I've had to rely heavily on kids needing to practice on their own. And fortunately for me, I have a bunch of kids who just they were like me when I was going to school. When I was going to college, I needed a 2.5 to graduate. I needed a 2.5 to play, and a homegirl graduated with 2.53. So like
Some room to
I
spare, right? Some room to spare.
I would just a little bit of wiggle room. But like I would skip my classes to go and play because we had free golf in Austin. Like that, like wherever I wanted to go, I could go and play. It's just as long as I had my bag and I called ahead. And so like my boys, they're very similar in that aspect. Like they cannot wait to go play. They grew up with boys from Brandeis High School, and a lot of the Brandeis kiddos, they are members at the Dominion. And so they'll ask me, they'll be like, hey coach, can we go play the Dominion today? And I'm like, dude, I'm so jealous. yes, go play over there. Like it's much better than what we're going to be doing over here. Like let me know what y'all shoot, have fun. And so they love to practice and they love to be out there. And I was just telling this to a friend of mine the other day that my boys will rag on each other till no end. Like they will be their biggest critics, but they're also their biggest supporters. And so they have just built this culture and it's just been so amazing and it's cultivated such a rich desire to want to play the game, and I couldn't have asked for better boys. My girls are so incredibly, academically inclined. They are like all AP, dual credit, kiddos.
Boring.
What? Boring?
Boring.
No, they really, and they're beautiful girls, and they are all like in orchestra, and they're just like well-rounded individuals. So whenever they're not on the course, they are like practicing their cello. I don't know what they play, but
I
they're studying, and you know what I mean? Like they're just such great kids. And so to answer your question, do I think that we're going to win? I wouldn't be a very good coach if I didn't have, the goal set to, we're going to go to state. Like, we're not just going to win district. We're going to win district. We're going to win regionals. We're going to go to state. And if we fall short of our goal, then we need to reassess. We need to figure out what we can do in order to get there. And then we need to implement that in for next year. And so, yeah, we're going to win it all. Come on.
I love it. Again, hey, reassess. I'm just constantly doing that. Hey, that's gonna be like my word of the. Hey, we're gonna reassess. It's like every game we're gonna reassess, guys.
Dude, I have to tell you, and this is completely off topic, but like somebody got a hold of my social security and my name and my address and everything, and somebody bought a 2020 GMC Sierra in my name. Like my identity has been compromised. And so I'm like looking through my bills and I'm like, why am I getting a bank from Ally Bank? Like I haven't bought anything from them. And they're like, you owe $532 to Ally Bank. And I'm just like, what? So I had to Google, like I didn't, like this has never happened to me before or anyone that I know. And so I had to Google what happens if somebody buys a car without your permission. And I was just like, the first thing it was like file a police report. And I'm like, God damn it. Like I've never had to talk to the cops. So I had to like call the non-emergency 911. And I was like, I think somebody stole my identity. They bought a car and they're like, okay, well, we'll meet you where you're at so that way we can take your statement. And I'm like, no, I'm a teacher. Please don't meet me at my school. Like that's going to cause so many issues. I was like, I'll meet you at the dealership because I had that dealership information. But luckily, Andy, the dealership that the car was bought at, the manager, he graduated from O'Connor. And my detective, who is in charge of my case, all of his kids went to O'Connor and he graduated from Lanier, which I had worked at Lanier, way back in the day. And
Damn, the
so like,
connections, man.
I after I left that whole situation, I was just like, I must have done something right because like I do feel like I'm in good hands. Like I felt like God was like, I'm gonna put you through this shitty situation, but you're gonna be well taken care of. And so, yeah.
See, Robert, right here, Robert, go to bed. Go to bed. Robert, well, I'd say Robert, you'd have to wake up early, but you're probably gonna make Ethan or Carlos or somebody else wake up early to open up
Oh,
the
I love
course.
Ethan. He needs to give Ethan a pay raise. Ethan does so much.
Hey, he does, but Ethan's mean to me.
What do you mean he's mean to you? What
He's
did you do to
he's
him?
mean. He's mean. He's mean to me. But that's okay. I'm gonna say I got something for Ethan. That's all right. I got something for Ethan.
Oh, you have to explain. You can't just leave it like that.
No, we're
What?
just. You know what? I'm not gonna say I should get special favors. I'm not saying that. But you know what? Like Ethan was just like very dry with me, like everybody else. I'm like Ethan. Like, come on, Ethan. Hey, it's me. Like, come on, like It's because I saw him on his day off, right? And they were actually playing, right? And somebody in Ethan's group was like talking shit about the slow play or whatever, right? And I was already done. I was actually done playing. Like I was just there putting, right? I was putting, and I was like, and then I look, and I was in Ethan's group, and I was just I just started talking shit to them, right? Because Ethan, and Robert's got a good crew. Robert's got some good people, and I think that's what separates a lot of the courses, right? Is the customer service or lack thereof, right? And Ethan's a good dude. I think it's funny when he wears the Tambora golf stuff. So I was like, Ethan's got to sign a deal. Like, Ethan, you got to wear the Jamaican clothes and the bucket hat, bro. Like it's you. Look, here you go. Oh, here we go. Robert Vasquez right here. Ethan got $5K Christmas bonus, and I And I just gave him 3,500 this month as an incentive bonus. You're more
Oh,
than welcome to ask if I share my bonus money with him.
well, that was very kind of you, Robert, and he deserves it. He works very hard.
See, and that's the thing though. Robert is the guy that he takes a lot of his bonus money and he puts it back into his people in his course. And I
And
think
and
that
whatever's left over, he puts into shoes, and then he sends me pictures, and he's like, "Eat your heart out."
so as soon as you said that about shoes, right? He goes, hey Andy, I got some. It was a while back. I got some golf shoes for you. Do you like the New Balance golf shoes? And I'm like, oh hell yeah, right? And he comes and he gives me a pair of New Balance shoes, and I'm thinking, oh, badass, size 9.5, women's. I'm like this, and I said, Robert, really? Like, you listen to these jerks? Like, I mean, I know I have small feet, but like, come on, guy, like 9.5, like, come on, and you know how it is, Allie, right? Like when you're
I
when
do.
you're when you're a girl, like you always right. What is it? You try to convert what it is to guy sizes or boy
Yeah,
sizes, right? And
yeah.
same thing for guys. Like, hey, I'm a 9.5. I gotta wear 12 in women's, right? Like, when the women, the female have that select color for right for or drop for that Nike, and so I'm
Yep.
like, Robert, I'm like this, really, bro? And he goes, oh, Andy, I'm sorry. And I was like I had my heart set on like these shoes, right? And I got a
Yeah.
fat foot, so I'm over here trying to put it on. I said, man, is it my foot even fatter? Like ching out, like did I gain weight in my feet?
Bingo.
And then Robert's like, I'll make it up to you, right? And so then he comes back the next week and he gives me another pair, but now they're like too big. I got like size 10, all white foot joys. They're freaking clown shoes, and then people
Oh,
clown on me like I'm walking and my feet are dragging, but whenever I go to his course, I feel like I have to wear them, like and see Robert, look at him, right, Robert. But it's all right. You know what? He always laughs and makes jokes at my expense, right?
he
And so
does. He does.
and
He's
so
a good sport, though.
no, no, no. Great sport, great grower of the game. Now, in that regards, is it tough? Is the coaching life tough for you? Is it tough in regards to playing, in regards to raising a kid, having your own your own life?
I will say that this year has been really, really tough. And there have been a few times where I'm just like, I don't even want to spell the word golf. Like, I just need like a break from it. And so I'm really, really hoping and praying that like I get an assistant next year because it has just been like, I have been tested. I have definitely worked for my paycheck, every month this year. I had to quit Our Lady of the Lake very suddenly because I just kind of sensed that I wasn't going to get, an assistant coach. And that really, that was very upsetting because I learned so much when I go with the girls at Our Lady of the Lake. And, just everything that we had done over there, I applied to the high school level and they were just better for it. Right. And so, um, I took a pay cut with that because I wasn't getting my Our Lady of the Lake money. But like just being at home and just having my support system has been amazing. But like we went to 8 out of town tournament. We're gonna go to Waco next week. You know what I mean? And so like my son, before I leave, he'll wake up with me at 4 o'clock in the morning and he's like, "Bye, mom, I love you. I'll see you in 3 days." And like that has been tough, because I can't share the workload with anybody. Like I am the only one doing it. And so with him wanting to play golf next year, I really want to make sure that I'm there to support him if that's something that he wants to do. And I don't want for my high school kiddos to take a back seat. But at the same time, I'm not going to let my son take a back seat to that either. So I'm hoping that I get some support.
And it's tough, right? In regards to that balance, right? You don't want to cheat. You don't want to cheat your blood, right? You don't want to cheat your kid, because from every time we've spoken, you had a good, your grandfather like taught you the game, right? And you just kind of you fell in love with the game on your own, right? And so it's just like, I always tell people this, right? Like, there's two names that you can call me, right? That I feel like dad, obviously, mom, right? Dad and mom, I like those are like probably like the best. But the second best is coach, right? I think the second best is coach, and it's up there. It is definitely up there. And a lot of times you feel kind of torn because you're kind of you're raising other people's kids,
Yeah.
like you just said it.
Yeah.
You just said it right there that you're going to be gone for 3 days, obviously, at the course, at the tournament, but interacting and, raising other people's kids,
Yeah.
and And sometimes parents and sometimes people don't get it though, right? But that's what all the like you take the losses even harder, and that's what the victories mean maybe even more too, right? Because
Right.
they're not your blood, they're not your kid.
Yeah.
And so as you navigate through that, as you navigate through that, do you find it tough to find your own practice time? I know you're a grinder. I know you love the range. You love to do all the things to get yourself ready for the tournaments and for the amateur tournaments and for the big competitions. Do you find it tough as you try to be mom, you try to be the top coach, to find that practice time to where your game is sharp to give yourself a good go at these tournaments?
So I've had to get really creative. I got a putting green back in COVID, and I put that in my classroom. And so for my classes, because we're not a tested subject, so I have a little bit of wiggle room to do what I want to do. And so,
North side, are you listening? Are you listening? Tag North side board right there.
but what I'll do is I'll have the kids putt for no homework, right? And so, like
Ooh,
for
I
the first
love
three
it.
weeks, they put, 3 out of 4 golf balls have to be put from 6 feet. And then the second 9 weeks, it's 7 feet, and then 8 feet, and then 9 feet. And so, like, when they're working, like, I'll go to my little putting green because sometimes the kids will be like, Miss, you can't do that. Like, you're asking us to do something impossible. Like, you can't do that. And I'm like, get your work done. And I'll go up there and I'll knock it in until I miss. And sometimes it'll be like 10 in a row or, 15 in a row. And I'm only asking them to do 3 out of 4, and then they shut up real quick. But like I'll putt when I'm at work occasionally, like when I don't have a million and one things to do. But what I recently learned was that like when I go to the course with the kids, I used to take my whole bag, and I was just like, man, this is just like it's too much. Like I'm not here for me. I don't need my whole bag. Like I'll just take one club. And so I'll take like my 9 iron and I'll just hit like a small bucket. Like after I get everyone teed off, I go to the clubhouse, I pay for, our rounds or whatever. And then I'm like, give me one token, please. And it's just a small bucket. And I'll just go and like, I'll just like hammer out a small bucket. And it's just enough to kind of get the feel for what I need or figure out what I'm trying to do with the ball.
Just
And
get the
then like
taste, right? Just a
I'll
little taste.
I'll go to the back to hole 9 and I'll work my way back, and then I'll get with my kids. But like I've also had my son where I take him to practice and he just wants to go and walk with the golfers. So I got a babysitter. I'll go hit like a small bucket and like like I'm one of those people, like if you want to do something you'll figure out a way, right? And so like I worked on my 7 iron the other day, so when we go out there tomorrow I'll work on my 6 iron, you know what I mean? And so like I just pick a club, I figure out what goal do I want to achieve for that specific practice time that I allot myself. It's probably like 15-20 minutes. I actually went down to the range the other day and one of the parents were like there, and I'm just like, I'm just going to hammer this out. Like I'm not even going to feel guilty about this. I'm going to hit and then I'm going to go and watch their kid. But like I just need that little bit of time, because if I don't stay sharp with my game, then I can't help them with theirs. And that's kind of how I justify it.
Damn. But then I think you got to think about it too. Like having that putting mat, I'm thinking about it, and I said, man, I have a really small office. I said, man, maybe it just means I need to work on 3-footers, right? Maybe, hey, that's what they call me Andy Putts. We don't want Andy Putts to ever come out. You don't want to see that guy. And but it has to be therapeutic for you too, right? It's got to be. It's got to get mentally, like you got to be like, hey, you can be sharp for others, right?
It really is, because I'll have one of my boy golfers. He'll put me on the spot. Like, you're asking me to do this. Like, can you show me? And then like I'll get up and I'll be like, yeah, motherfucker. And, like I'll not. And then they're like, all right, yes, ma'am. You know what I mean? And you have to talk the talk. Like if you're gonna walk the walk, you gotta have to talk the talk. And so that's why I try to stay sharp. And I know eventually, like my game is not going to be where it is right now, and I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'll worry about that when I cross that bridge later.
Right, that's what I say. Hey, I'll worry about that tomorrow. Because I'm gonna focus on today. Right, you're gonna focus on today. So what do you have lined up for you? What are your goals set? We know what your goals are set for your teams, right? Hey, you go big, you go home, right? You know what? What is it? Like Tiger says, you know what? Hey, where's the first tee?
What's the course record and
where's the first tee? So it's just like, but again, like as a coach, I try to give off that attitude to my kids, right? Because they're gonna feed off of you. If you're gonna be cocky, then you know what? Then I'm gonna be cocky. If you're gonna be confident, then I'm gonna be confident. And
Absolutely.
then you know what? It's just like if you feel like you're prepared, the kids are gonna feel prepared. And so it's just like, what goals and what is like what's in sight for you in regards to playing, playing the amateur tournaments, and where do you hope to go and take it this summer?
So before I answer that, I have to tell you that I really want to get meta glasses.
They look
And
so cool.
dude, but like you can record like your shot, like, and then I can like post it and like my kids, like obviously like on a safe profile and not like whatever,
Yeah, it's
but
like more like
that way
a teaching profile, like a teaching
so
platform,
that
right?
way they
Yeah.
can see, and then when I go and run, this summer, I'm like, hey, homegirl just did 2 miles in however many minutes. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? And I just think that those are, I'm like, oh, I think those would be so awesome. So I want to get meta glasses, one, so that way I can like,
How much are they?
dude, there's like $350.
That's
And
no.
on my little poor teacher salary, I'm just like, let me save up a little bit more
No,
and then
listen,
I can,
listen to me. Okay, so let me tell you this, right? So, okay, I know we're off subject, but nothing's OB, right? Nothing's OB. So I'm always, I work at a Catholic school, so I'm always on my wife. My wife works for Northside, so I'm always on my wife's benefits in regards to I have my health through the Catholic, through the
yeah,
diocese, and then I'm on my wife's for vision and dental, right? Because man, they
yes.
have it's supposed to be. Well, normally I go to get my I go to the Walmart right there on Desabala and I-10, and the guy's really cool. He does the boxing like eye exams for all the boxers, professional boxers, right? Real cool guy.
Wow.
And but I always have to pay out of pocket
Yeah.
for my eye exam, and it's like, man, I remember when it was $60, 70. Now
Yeah.
it's like $100,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I go and I'm just like this. I'm gonna pay $100, and this lady starts telling me. She goes, "Oh no, this is Northside. You know what? This is the insurance Northside has." She's like, "Well, let me tell you. Last year, this lady came and she's on the board for the committee that decides what insurance companies they go through, or that can that hey that brings it to the table." And she was appalled by how much she had to pay out of pocket with the vision insurance that Northside had. And so she said,
Hmm.
"You know what? I'm going to make some changes to this." And sure enough, she did. I go in there and I pay $15 for my eye exam. I
Wow.
go to Costco to get my glasses. Normally they cost me like, I only do Oakley's because I got a real fat face and fat temple, right? So I need the kind that got a little give. And so, I get all the bells and whistles, the transition, the scratch free, like, hey, I'm a coach. I got to go inside and outside. Well, normally they're like $5, right? Man,
Jesus.
came out to be like two, like barely like
Really?
197 everything. And then my wife's got the, what is it, the HMA, the card, what is it, the little
Oh, the HMO?
the HMO card, the card, right, that takes out
Yeah.
money like right out of your
Oh,
paycheck.
yeah, yeah. The
So
savings, yeah.
yes, and then so boom, we do that, still got money left over. The girl goes, "Hey, your insurance is really good. We'll give you $50 off a second pair of glasses." Well,
Wow.
stupid me, I get prescribed sunglasses. I'm over here
Uh-huh.
thinking, why didn't I just get Meta
Meta
glasses?
glasses.
Because if you get them prescribed,
Yes.
insurance will cover part of it.
Yeah. And that's what, because I just got my eyes checked the other day, and that's why I'm like, dude, I really want meta glasses. But like you can get them prescribed, and I don't know if that you can get them like the sunglasses and the regular glasses, like where
Yeah,
they're
the
different.
transition. I don't know about that either.
I don't know about that, but like I was looking on TikTok, so it has to be true.
Oh, of
Like where
course. No, you got to go
you
to the
just
store. You got to go to the store.
yeah,
You got to go
yeah,
to
and so
TikTok
you just
store.
point and it tells you like the yardage, and I'm just like
No,
these.
shut up.
Yes.
Shut
Yes,
up.
like you point and you say like where how far is this or whatever, and it'll say it's 200 yards. And I'm just like, I need, and then you can record like, dude, those are no brainer.
They have you know what? Costco has a 90-day policy. I
Dude,
think I'm gonna take back the second pair to get
dude.
to get the.
Like I'm seriously like I'm putting a little bit of money every month aside because I really do want to get those for the summer so that way I can document and I can show my kids like, hey, I'm practicing every day. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. What are y'all doing? Again, talk the talk, walk the walk. But I feel
Damn.
like meta glasses would be like so because then what I could do is I could post it like on my TikTok or whatever, and then I can start making millions and be an influencer, and then like I can retire.
I'm just waiting for something to hit, right? Like the best TikTok I have so far is one I did with my former co-host Brucey missing a putt and cussing and him getting really mad. But I sponsored that one, right? So I paid I paid a little bit to sponsor it, right? So where it was all over the place. Well, the one I have of me doing a little video at the Covey, like canned Gatorades, like man, canned Gatorades, like they have canned Gatorades there. Uncrustables, canned Gator. I mean,
Dude,
what course has canned Gatorades?
I have no idea.
Exactly. I know. I know. Covey, River Hills in Kerrville,
Hmm.
and Shadow Creek in Las Vegas. Those are the only three I know that have canned Gatorades. I've only played two of them: River Hills and Kerrville in the Covey, not Shadow Creek.
That's pretty, I mean, yeah.
So tell me, you were gonna say something. Tell me, did I interrupt it? I interrupted.
Uh, you should be, yeah, you should be an influ. You get the meta glasses and you can be an influencer and you post all your stuff and then,
Well, see, I do. We had this talk right with somebody, right? We had this talk because I'm not like I don't have a swing like you. Like if I had your swing, if I was pretty like you and had a badass bag like you do, and you just played Pebble, right? You played Pebble, and I'm like if I did that, then yes. But I talk. This is the I'm on
but
this
like,
side.
but think about like all of the TikToks that have like the most views. They're not about like the girl wearing the shortest skirt. Like they're about the real everyday golfer who has just an average swing, who is a what is that the hit what where it goes they're like hit fuck. What is it what the where anyways where they just do stupid shit and they get it recorded. I mean those are the videos that you play over and over and over again.
See,
So if
I'm
anything,
trying.
you
I'm
would be a
trying.
better influencer than I ever would.
I'm
But
trying.
what I really want to do, like, and I think it's going to be like money, is when I go on Saturdays with my retiree, like 91-year-old players that I have my game with, and they tell me jokes, dude. They tell me the funniest jokes ever, and I'm like, please let me record you. Like, let me record you and post you on TikTok. You would get so many and they're just like, I don't know what the fuck TikTok is. Like, don't put me on anything. I'm just
So
like,
okay,
ah.
so one of the things the other day, right? Some guy asked, "What's the best one-liner you've heard?" Right?
Mhm.
Do you know what's the best one-liner you've ever heard?
I mean, I've heard a lot, but you're putting me on the spot, and so
Right
I'm
here,
definitely
look,
still
look,
going
look,
right
Joseph
now.
Vega right here. Whack fuck,
Whack
whack
fuck,
fuck.
thank you. Those are the videos that are fucking hilarious. That are hilarious because you're just like whack fuck, like
Look,
everyone can relate
look,
to
there
it.
you go, Joseph Vega, and then Sergio. They don't these, at least Sergio says something. Joseph don't say anything the whole time, but now you struck a chord with whack fuck. Oh, they know what that is,
Dude,
right?
everybody knows whack fuck.
Okay, so tell me. So if you have one, tell me, because I can give you several, right? Because this guy asked, right? He goes, "Hey, what's the best one-liners you've heard out on the golf course?"
Uh
Right?
huh.
And so we were playing at Carlton Woods. We're playing the Nicholas course, right? We're playing the Fazio, the Nicholas. We're playing one of them, right? And we had a fork caddy, and it was the first time I've ever had a fork caddy. And I had the video. He was real badass because, like right from the get go, man, he pissed me off right from the get go. On the first hole, I was 145 yards out, and he asked, "Well, what's your 130 club?" And I said, "My 9 iron," right? And he go and he go, and I said, "My 9 iron." He goes, "Well, hit your 9 iron." Well, I hit it. It flies the green, and I turned around and I said, "9 iron, huh?" I said, "Okay," right? Pissed off, right? Like I was just like, I fucking hate this guy, right? Like I can't stand this guy. Well, as we get to the green and a putt's lined up for my buddy, and he goes up to it and he goes, "Yeah, we call that a Lance Armstrong." And I'm like this. We're all looking at each other. He goes, "One ball left." And I'm like this. Damn, this guy. Like this guy's good, right? This guy's good. And then later on, right, this guy hits a shot, and we're all looking at it, and he goes, "Yep, we call that a fat girl. It ain't gonna turn over." You know, like man, like we're just like we're cracking up, right? And so
Yeah.
then we get to the green, and again, it's another putt. He goes, "We call that a grandpa's pajamas. 2 balls out."
Oh my god. No, I do have my own, and the kids have already like they've already kind of guessed like when I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. But like if we're on a par three and they hit like the complete opposite end of the green from where the pin is, I'm like, well, you're on the dance floor, but you can't hear the music and you have an ugly girlfriend.
Ooh, you got an ugly partner.
Yeah, and so they're just like, "Dang, coach," and I'm just like, "Well," so that's the only one I can think of right now. But I do have a few one-liners that I use with the kiddos. We have to keep it PG,
You got to
obviously,
keep
but
it PG-13, right? PG-13. You know, you can
well,
go
because the
PG.
way it was conveyed to me was, "You have an ugly fucking girlfriend," and so I have to leave the F word out. But
And see, this is what I try to tell people, right? Like I guess too, because like the new golfer is like a music is a bro golf. It's like the new golfer that's coming. It's a bro golfer. Hey, it's fun. Everything's cool. Like I think they get easily offended, right?
oh,
Like,
God, yes.
like my dad and uncles, man. Like you couldn't be able. You would think they freaking hated each other. Like you, and you know what? And then afterwards, what are they doing? Hey, they're popping a beer. Hey,
Yeah,
they're enjoying each other. And you know what? Like this is why I am the way that I am.
yeah,
Like I'm like you're not gonna get to me. Like my game's gonna. I'm gonna no one is going to be able to screw myself better than I can screw myself. That's what I always
yes,
say. And you know
yeah,
what? Like you're not going to get to me. Like I've been brought up like I've been like verbally abused on the golf
yeah,
course. I got
yeah.
PTSD. I got PTSD on the golf course. You know? And so it's just like I hear these things and then you try to rattle or you give somebody just some shit. Oh, that's cold or coach. No, and I'm like,
Yes.
bro, like stop, bro. This is hey, this is nothing. Like this is nothing,
No, I
man.
know. I know. Well, I mean, the same with me. Growing up on at Lackland, like I played with nothing but retirees, and they were going to tell you their opinion about whatever they were going to tell you, no matter whose feelings it hurt. And so, there would be times where I would start to like say something back, and my grandpa would be like, "No, ma'am, do not." And so I almost had to like not sit and take it, but I let my game speak for itself because if I was playing shitty, then they were going to talk shit. But if my game was good, nobody was going to say anything to me except for good game. And so, that's just something that I do like to tell my players. Like, if you don't like the people that you're playing with, then play better. So that way you can play with better players. You only this is the bed that you have made. So now you need to lay in it. But I guarantee you, like, there's just, the golfers nowadays are not like that because you can look at someone sideways and they'll start crying. And I'm just like, for some of my golfers this year, our goal is to get through a tournament without shedding any tears. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of the bare minimum. And sometimes I'll call my mom like on the way home and I'm just like, "Mom, did I ever do this?" And she's like, "No. You never cried. If anything, like you were pissed off and upset, but you never cried." And I was just like, "All right. We got to go back to the drawing board." Like, you just, and it's hard to teach kids to have tough skin because they're not put in situations like how we were put in back then. It's just a different reality for them.
And you say that, I had a tough conversation with my daughter right before we got on the show, because my wife was pissed. She was pissed, like she was
Oh, I
livid.
bet.
She was livid, right? And I just the previous week, my daughter she was battling it out on the track, right? And I could
Mhm.
see that she didn't have her best stuff. Not that her best stuff is like the greatest stuff, but she was battling it, right? And I could tell, like, she was just trying to get through the race, right? And I said, and she was already like holding her side with her. I said, no, you're fine. I said, you're fine. You are fine. Keep battling. Just keep trying your best. Just go.
Yeah.
Keep going. Do not quit. Do not give in. And she busted her ass and she was hurting. And you know what? She comes up, because I'm in the stands, and she comes up and she says, she starts crying. She goes, "Dad, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry." And I said, "Dude, don't be sorry." I said, "I loved watching you." I was like, I said, "I know you didn't have your best stuff, but dude, I was so proud of you. Like, it's okay. Like, it's okay." And you know that you being on a player and being on that side, when you can just try and shit does not go your way. The
Yeah.
ball does not drop. The ball
Yeah.
does not drop. And I said, "Dude, I'm so proud of you. Like, I loved watching you. Like, I love watching you just fight and battle your ass up." And then I hear
Yeah.
about it today, and I said, why did you not even give yourself a chance in the race? And she said, "I was afraid of what happened to me last week happened again." And
Mm.
I said, "Dude," I said, that's why we put you in these
Yeah.
sports. I said, "Man," I said, "because you know what? When I said, I'm sure you always go back, Ally, to little situations. You know what?
Mhm.
That man, I learned this years ago. I learned this a long
Yeah.
time ago, and I wasn't the best at it. I might still not be good at it now, but at
Yeah.
least learned something. And I said, man, I said, what you learned today, I said, that you quit. You can quit. I said, I'm gonna tell you, and then what's gonna happen next week? I said, you might want to quit a little bit more. And then the next time you're not gonna want to do it. And I said, that's what I'm afraid of. I said,
Yeah.
how did you feel quitting today? And she was just like, she couldn't answer me. And I said, that's okay, you don't have to answer me. I said, but I said, we don't quit. I said, we don't quit. We never give in. And I said, because once you start quitting, you're going to want to do it again and again and again, and it's going to feel right. And I said,
Yeah.
and I just, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart, but I'm like, Mama was ready, and I like it because my wife is the nicest person ever. And and I'm over here. I said, if I'm reasoning with anybody, like shit, we got problems. If I'm the voice of reason, if I'm the voice of reason,
Yeah.
and so I just, it's tough when you come home and you just want to be mom or you just want to be dad, and the coaching hat, has the I have to hang it up. I have to
Yeah.
hang it up. But every now and then, my girls let me bring it out. They let me put on the coaching hat. Like, hey, step into Coach Torres' office, right?
Yeah. Well, I will say that when I went to Pebble Beach, like Pebble Beach was a dream for me. Like it was literally a bucket list checked off when I got to go. But that first day I shot 86 and I just let too many things, into my head. And when I got off the course, I was just I was super down. Like I don't remember the last time I shot in the 80s, much less in 86. And so I was just like, you know what, dude, if I'm gonna double bogey some holes, at least I'm gonna double bogey the holes at Pebble Beach. Like I try to put it into perspective for me. I'm like, I'm at freaking Pebble, like I'm at Pebble Beach, right? And so I had to have like a talk with myself, and I was just like, this is our last chance. Like we're not gonna get another opportunity to like this. And the numbers after your name are gonna be on the internet forever. And so, I go to the next round and I'm doing okay at par. And then I get to a par three and I fucking four putt. And I was like, God damn it. And so I doubled that hole. And in my mind, I'm just like, I can't stop. Like, that's not an option. Like, that was not even a thought in my mind. What came into my mind was if you fucking put the ball closer to the hole, you won't have to fucking putt as much. And so I'm 100 yards out. My adrenaline's pumping from the fucking four putt the hole before, and I'm going uphill into the wind. I was like, I'm gonna hit my 50% pitching wedge, no glove, and I'm gonna stick this right next to the hole, and it's gonna be and that's all I'm thinking. I'm gonna put this right next to the fucking hole. That way, there's no chance for me to four putt. And I even told my cousin was my caddy when we went, and I was like, if I don't fucking stick this close, I don't have to fucking four putt. And he's laughing at me, and it just fucking drains, like it disappears, and I eagle it, and it was just like, oh, it was such a relief, and I was just like, all right, this is the turning point. And so then after that, it was like birdie, and like just things started to just come around, and I shoot 76 the second day. Now if I had shot 78 the first day, I would have made it into the Monday qualifier, but because I fucking shot 86, I was like, well, we're gonna go home. But I shot 86, 76. I ended with 2 birdies on the last 2 holes, and I was able to leave Pebble Beach like I had accomplished something.
Hey,
But because
held high, held
I
high, head held
didn't
high.
give up. And like I tell my kids that, and I know that they're tired because I'm like, well, when I was at Pebble Beach, and they're like, okay, coach, we get it. You went to Pebble Beach. And I'm like, "No, thank you," because I went to Pebble Beach. Not many people can say that they did that and played in a USGA tournament. Like, let me fucking have my moment. And so like I tell them, I'm just like, I wanted to give up. You don't think I wanted to give up after I shot 86? Like I had told all of my players, I sent all of them the links, like all my friends and my family. And in my mind, I was just like, damn, I suck. But guess what? Like you can never give up. That just is not an option. And I think a lot of times kids these days, they want to take the easy way out, and they
I
think that by
know,
giving
I
up, it's just
know.
easier than sticking it out. And they don't realize like the balls they're going to grow by like not quitting. And it's just, they won't realize it until they go through it. And unfortunately, they have to be put in that position. They have to go to the lowest of the low in order to learn that about themselves.
I'm gonna quote Ally Trevino. You'll grow some fucking balls if they just.
Dude, but look at my shirt. I just got this shirt, and it's just like girls will be girls from Medusa. Like you just have to have that mentality. Like you just have to be like a killer, and you have to just not fucking give
See,
up.
that's what I'm telling you. That's why your Instagram is like one of my favorite ones that I like. I need to see your stories because I'm like this. I'm like laughing, jerk, like like
But dude,
dang.
like when Anthony Kim, when he won that live
Okay,
event,
thank
oh
you.
my God.
Hey,
And then I like I just posted like he got sponsored by
hold on. Where
somebody.
is it? Okay, look, I
Yeah, yeah,
said
yeah.
AK. We got to talk about AK. I mean that's my
Oh,
handwriting.
dude, I
That's why I'm an athletic director, not a teacher.
like but like now he's being sponsored by a brand. I have to figure out what brand it is because his shirt says "Don't effing quit," and there's like a little
Don't
star where
fucking quit. It's Malbon.
yeah.
It's Malbon.
Yes. Oh, God. I want to get like one in every color. Like I don't even care how much it is. Like that's what I want.
Right,
Yep.
right here, like Armando Lopez. I give up. Fuck it. Deep fight for life. Hey, congrats, man. He shot a net 80, 89 at La Cantera on Sunday.
Dang.
Hey, he won
That's
money.
pretty good.
Man, he took home like 4 bills. FOREBROS tour.
Uh,
He took home four bills. FOREBROS tour.
Dude,
Hey,
so wait, real quick. So me and Curtis, we went and played at Silverhorn. We did a scramble, and I was like, dude, we're gonna win. Like I know we're gonna win. We fucking shoot 52. We birdie every hole. We eagle every par five. Like it was just like fucking money. We walk in and there's a 49 posted. I'm like, what motherfucking sandbagging ass came in and fucking shot 49? But guess who was in the first place? It was Casey Lim. And I was like, oh, okay.
oh, okay. Casey Lim is like the hired gun for like tournament season, right? So it was, I think, last year because I had a different job last year. Last year, very flexible, right? This year, I can't go anywhere. And so last year, man, I go play the Central Catholic tournament. Boom. First place. Luckily enough, we get third. We're at the Incarnate Word one. Hey, we don't even qualify. Man, he's like first
Where,
place.
where did y'all play for Incarnate Word? Because they go practice out at Briggs Ranch.
No, no, no. This is the high school, not the college.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Shoot. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why didn't you call me, Andy? Like, come on, bro.
I want, dude. I don't even get invited to UTSA, man. It's like summer.
What?
Oh, I know. See, I'm mad at her. That's okay.
I would
We're
be
all mad at
mad
her.
too.
Let's all be mad at her. Let's all be mad at her.
This is my mad face.
That's Tiger. That's Tiger's bad face right there. And so like we go and play 3 tournaments, right? And sure enough, Casey is hey leaving with wine baskets, charcuterie boards, like, and I'm like, man, fuck this guy, like, hey, what is it, like cornhole like things, and I said, man, like, dude, like, come on, man, like, I mean, I tell him, I mean, I know him, and so I'm like, man, I just wish one day I had your fucking game. I just wish I said, you know what, I'd whip your ass just one time if I had your game, right? Okay, so this is my one of the biggest things I had it down here. I'm caddying for A Rod, Anthony Rodriguez. A God is what we call him, from the Big Break, right? 2-time Big Break alumni. I'm
Wow.
caddying for him in the Valero pre-qualifier, right?
How did you get that job?
Well, he's my buddy. He's my boy.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
I mean, hey, like, you're my girl. I've had you on the show. Hey, hey,
Yeah,
you're my
yeah.
girl,
Okay,
right?
okay.
And
Dude,
so,
that's fucking awesome though. Like,
thank
congratulations.
you. Well, he calls me. He calls me. Okay, before we get there, uh, Four Bros tour and Nothing is OB. We have an event out of Comanche Trace on March 7th. We we are paying for the top 2 finishers to get into the qualifier, the pre qualifier.
Wow. That's awesome. That is so cool.
I know my our buddy Jeremiah Sierra, the tournament director. He's like, "What about this?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Hey, 4 bros will pay for one. Nothing is OB." I was like, "Gosh dang it! Why do you always gotta?" I was like, "Man," I was like, "I don't have the type of money." I was like, "Man, I gotta play in the net game just so I can maybe win money to pay for that damn guy to rep my shit in the
Dude,
damn tournament."
that's like Comanche Trace is such a great course. Like that's one of the courses where like anytime I can go, like I'm going to leave with like pockets of free teas because like they just have that stuff just out there and it's just such a
Oh
great
no!
course.
Oh, for reals. Okay, Ali, you're not lying. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why you're my girl. You're my dog right there. Oh no! Look. Oh shit! Hold on. Armando Lopez. It was an 89 gross, not net.
Oh,
Damn. That's why he
congratulations.
cashed out because he was a 20 handicap and shot 89. You
Dude,
know,
that's fucking awesome.
I
Congratulations.
know, man. Congrats, dude. Like, but again, like you're out, bro. I'm gonna see him in Alice on Saturday. We're gonna throw bows over there, and so
But dude, that's awesome that you're gonna sponsor. That's so cool.
and I like that because again, like we want to talk shit. You gotta talk the talk. You gotta walk the walk, right? And well, A Rod, like my buddy calls me about that, and then A Rod calls me, like I say, 5 minutes later, and he goes, "Hey, I need you on the bag," and I was like this. Man, I gotta work. It was like on a Sunday. I'm leaving Cedar Creek. And I said, man, I gotta work tomorrow, bro. Like, I gotta take the PTO like in days in advance. And he goes, I need you at the pre-qualifier for the Valero Open. And I'm like, hey, stop. I'm like, stop, stop. And I said, dude, I said, the show's called Nothing Is OB because I'm fucking toxic, bro. Like, I don't know if you want this, bro. I don't know if you need this. There's a lot coming off. There's a lot of heat coming off of me, right? And he goes, I think that's what I need. And
Yeah,
I said, man, I was like, I give people the energy, not the energy they want, the
the
energy they
energy.
need,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And so I'm excited. I'm excited because you know what?
Dude, that's so cool.
Right. And I said, I'm excited. But then I found out like at least he gets to ride in a cart with his bag on there.
Hmm.
Caddies have to walk. And I'm okay.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. I said it's Fair Oaks. I said, but if I had to carry the bag, like, hey, like, I said, bro, hey, you're rocking the Titleist light, you know, the light one, like, hey, like the college bag. That's the bag you're rocking. Like, I ain't carrying no damn staff bag.
Dude, so like in college, like I mean in high school, I would like ask my grandpa, I'm like, hey, can I get one of those push thingies? That way I can like push my back. And he's like, what are you, a girl? And I'm like, "Yeah, I guess. You know, and so like I always carried my bag. So like as I started coaching, I'm like, no, y'all can carry your bags. Like y'all are fine. It's fine. And then I go to Pebble Beach and my cousin wasn't able to go for the first few practice rounds. And so I'm like, it's Pebble Beach. I just want to take this in. I had just gotten my Sunday red bag. It was
Dude,
like
I
all
saw
leather.
that.
It was all leather and it was fucking heavy. I didn't realize how heavy it was gonna be because I've never had a leather bag. And so like that leather is fucking heavy. And so I'm like carrying it right. And I'm just like,
That's
just
it.
walking to the tee box. I'm like, damn. And then I see all the push carts lined up and I was like, oh yeah, dude, that was that bag. Like I don't even leave that bag in the garage. That bag is right next to my bed. It's in an air conditioned controlled environment. Like it's white. You know what I mean? Like no, she's every time I wake up in the morning, like I see her. She's right
It's like,
there.
baby, are you still there? You still there? Hey,
Dude.
go back to bed. Go back to bed. Dude,
Dude,
okay.
funny story though. Like everywhere I
Sick.
went, I was the only Trevino, and everyone kept asking me, they're like, "So are you related to Lee Trevino?" And I'm like, "No, if I was related to Lee Trevino, then I wouldn't have to work for a living, but I definitely have to work for a living." And after a while, people just kept asking me, like, "Are you related? Are you related?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not related."
Dude, that's a sick ass bag. Okay, tell me, how much
Dude.
did it cost?
Oh, okay. So I just want you to know that like I'm a teacher, right? Like I pinch my pennies. So when I see something and I like it, like I'm gonna fucking buy it. So don't judge me. But like I had just found out I was gonna go play Pebble Beach. That bag literally came out the very next day. I had to get it. Like, and I didn't want to like sit on it because I was like, what if they sell out? Because all of his shit sells
They do
out.
sell out quick, right? Who buys it? I don't know who buys it, but they sell out quick. Hey, we know you bought the one bag. There's one bag and you
I
bought it.
mean, I did buy the one bag and I may have bought some other stuff, but I mean, we're not gonna talk about that. But
You're bougie, dude. God,
no,
so
dude,
bad. Damn.
red is my favorite color. Slight, whatever. Anyways, so the bag was $1,000, and I was just like, I have to go to Pebble Beach with. If I look good, I feel good. I'm gonna play good. We've talked about this, and the second I get to Pebble Beach, one of the caddies goes, "That bag is fire," and that was all the validation that I needed. I was like, I'm good. Like yeah, and so
That's a flex though, right? So I've said that like several times. Like I love my bag, right? So like normally when the seasons like since it's college golf season, I'll go back to my UTSA golf bag, right? I'll hey rep my team, rep my squad, but then I got a swag bag. My buddy, the swag master Osman, hooked me
dude,
up with a badass swag, and I'm like, I'm about that swag life. Like
dude, that swag life is fucking fine. Like I had one. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but like I had wanted to get some head covers for the longest time, and I was like, dude, I'm not good enough for these head covers. But
Stop.
when
You
I
are.
realized,
Stop.
but when I qualified for Pebble Beach, I was like, nope, I'm getting these head covers. And so I spent $300 and I was all decked out. Like I didn't have very much money when I got there, but I looked good, I felt good, and I played good the second day. So
Damn, dude. So Allie, as we wrap up, it's
wait,
been a
wait,
great.
wait, sorry.
Tell me, go
Go
for it.
back
Tell
to
me.
your swag. You got that swag bag and what?
I got the swag bag, and it's just like it. No, like I mean, everybody looks at it, and it's just like you know, like it's about that swag life. Like, okay, so I I'm not gonna say I slum it, right? I'm not gonna say I think slum it's the a bad word, right? But I really only play with my golf group, right? Because that's I get them in the schedule. We have our schedule made, and so I move things around to where hey, I'm gonna play the one day or these events right here. But man, I like to go out sometimes, and there's these little groups that I like. I'll go out and I'll play with, right? Like I just kind of check the temperature of of what it's like out there, right? What the dating world is like outside of my marriage, my golf marriage, right? And
Yeah.
so there's these group of guys, right, from UTSA that started this golf group, and it's called Rowdy Golf Club. And I like it
I've heard
because
of it.
it's UTSA, right?
Yeah.
And my godsons bought me a shirt. It's fucking badass. And again, I love it, right? Well, I went to go play with them at the par three, and like they're still in college, and then one guy graduated. They're still like they're all young guys, right? Young cats,
Yeah.
and like everybody was like, "Oh, hey, sir, uh, what are you doing out here, or whatever?" And I said, "Man, I was hoping my buddy that kind of introduced me to the page, right, was going to be out there, and he flaked on me, which I'm not surprised. He flakes on me all the time, and it left me hanging out there, and I'm like, I'm 46 years old. These guys, the oldest guy there was 22. Like man, they're struggling college kids. They're over there
Yeah.
like man pitching pennies just to play the damn par three, right? And like man, like it was just like it was kind of fun, just like hearing like what's good to them and what they're like. I'm hearing them talk on the greens and oh man, how did you do that shot or whatever? And I'm like, oh, that's like that's hey, yeah, it's hey, like they're looking. Oh man, you have all. And I took out my Sunday bag because I was like, man, we're at par three. Like I don't need to.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna carry this. I ain't gonna carry all my 14 clubs, right? And these guys are carrying all their bags, right? And I'm just like, I got like 3 clubs, and you know, it's just like funny hearing them like just talk about things, right? And I'm like,
Yes.
man, I said, guys, if you only knew what I got, if you only knew what daddy's packing, right? Like man, I'll be blown away, right? They're like, oh, I can't afford any swag. I only have one, whatever. And I'm like listening to it. I'm like, well, I can't afford them either. I have to get my buddy's last season shit because he only rocks new season shit,
Yeah.
And so I'm like listening to these guys and they're like, hey, we're gonna have this Ryder Cup style match. Do you want to play? And I have a track meet I got to work on that day. And I'm like, man, guys, I said, look, I can't play, but let me sponsor something for you. I said, man, I'll sponsor y'all's breakfast tacos or golf balls, a sleeve for each guy. Like, you tell me what you want me to sponsor,
Yeah.
dude, and I got you because they're nice. They were nice kids, right? Like, they were guys that you can tell that they love the game, and so I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I'll go back to play with these guys just because. Like it's kind of like playing like sandlot baseball or something, or like just
Yes.
like playing like parking lot football. Like it's like I kind of like I was getting back to the roots, and I'm like
Yeah.
shit, man. Like, I was like, I hadn't played for handshakes in a long time. You know what I mean? I was
Oh,
like normally I'm like, hey, what's your Venmo? Or hey, I'll Venmo you or
yeah.
something, right?
Yeah.
And it was great. It was great just to kind of see like that other side. See, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you get to see it all the time because you deal with younger kids all the time.
Yeah. Well, I will say that like I enjoy seeing that when I go to Lackland because the retirees like they're stupid rich, but they'll play for like nickels a hole, and that nickel is like do or die.
Yeah.
I know one time I didn't have I didn't have a ball marker, and my partner Doc he tosses me a penny, and I'm like a penny it's whatever, and so I mark my ball, and then when I get done I put it in my pocket, and before we tee off on the next hole he goes, where's my penny? And I'm just like I thought he was joking, and I was like, huh. And then I realized I was like, oh, I'm sorry, doc. Here you go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's the little things and it's the principles behind it and it's that camaraderie that you build and it's the respect. And so that's what I think it ultimately comes down to is you learn like what a person is made of and what they value. And that's important.
Man, Allie, I want you to be the host of this show, man. I'm learning like this is your show, Allie. This is your show right here. And
Dude,
you know,
I could talk about golf for
that's
hours.
what
Like
that's what I'm saying, right? Because
I,
it's been a hell. You know what we spoke last week. It's been a hell of a week. Like,
oh,
and
dude, it's been, yeah.
so I'm like this. I told myself one of my goals for the year. I said I'm gonna be consistent and put a show out every week. I said I'm gonna be consistent. I said as much as it hurts me, it sucks. I want to move things around. I said I'm gonna do it. And I'm like this. I got nothing going on this week. I don't know what the fuck to talk about. I said, but you know what? I said, I know who does, and I know
Oh,
who I know who's about the golf life. And I was like, man, and I was like, let me send, you know what, my wife's an early rise, like she goes to bed like at 8:30 before the kids even go to bed. And I'm like, who's gonna put them to bed, lady? Like, come on, like man, like she's got the waves are crashing, the lavender's burning, like I already hear that, like man, like just like come on, girl, like you expect me to do it? Like, geez, what's going on here? And so like I'm texting, right, and I said, I'm texting somebody, right? I'm texting you, and I'm like this, man. I said, let's see if Allie responds. I said, no matter what, she'll respond to me tomorrow. And she's like this, who are you texting? I'm like, shut up, go back to bed. Like, don't worry about don't worry about it. You know,
dude, and like I heard your text message go off, and it was right as I was about to fall asleep, and it was almost like in the movies, it's like no, and then I just like fucking crashed out. And so in the morning, I'm like, oh, I wonder who texted me, and I was like, fuck yeah, like of course I would, like
that's
I
what I'm.
could talk golf with
That's what I'm
you like
saying. That's
every day.
that. That's what that's what I'm saying right here. So what I'm saying in regards to it was great just to be out there and connect with guys that I'm twice their age, and I see that they love this shit the way I love this shit. They're talking
Yeah.
about another golf tournament, like, and man, oh, they're looking so forward to playing in this little Ryder Cup thing. And he's like, hey man, the guy texted me today. He goes, hey, would you be interested? I said, bro, I thought about it. I was trying. Like, I'm working a track meet, bro. I said, I'm so sorry. I really want to. I said, bro, but I want to get out there with y'all more. Like, man, I said, y'all are like some really good. And I said, don't take this the wrong way. Y'all are some good kids, right? Like, but I said, I'm still a boy. You know that about men. We never grow up. We never grow up. You
Dude,
know
like I
that.
said, I was raised by my grandpa, and I feel like I have a 13-year-old boy mind. Like when somebody says something, I'm like, that's what she said. And so
Hey, you like this? You like this? Don't say it.
it's so
Don't,
hard for me to keep my
don't
tongue
say it.
when I'm with the boys out on the golf course because I'm like, that's what she said. And I
Don't.
have to keep it to myself, and I'm just like, but no, I know exactly. So where do you guys play? Where do y'all play at Oak Valley?
No. We played at San Pedro.
Oh,
25
okay.
$25 to play the par three, dude. 25
Yeah.
bucks. $25, man. Oak Valley, it's 16. Hey, $9
Yeah.
difference. $9 difference is big. You know that.
Oh
Hey,
yeah.
$9 is $9. So I was telling these guys, I said, hey man, are we thinking about having any? Because they like to do range sessions at Mac Wiley over here at the old golf
Yeah,
Alamo
yeah, yeah.
Golf Club, right? And I live down the street, and so I'm like,
Dude, I
okay, I
wish
said,
they had saved that course. Like,
right,
I
I
wish
know,
Northside had bought it, and I wish
right,
that they would put Northside students to work it. And I would like, I grew up how to play golf there. Like, whatever.
right. That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, that's where I met Robert. That's where I met
That's where
Robert.
I met. I was gonna say that's where I met Robert too.
Man, some of my I'm not gonna say best rounds, but memorable. I mean, man, we played like I think like 54 holes one day. Like hey, can we get a different cart? Like this ran out of gas. Like we just kept playing and playing, and
Wait,
so
wait. Why did you drive the cart? It was. Why would you drive? Why wouldn't you just walk?
hey, I'm not gonna. I'm enjoying the round. Like hey, and so right. So I tell them. I said, hey guys, why don't I said have you do y'all do we? I said do we? Because I'm a member now. I said, hey, do we do any golf events at Oak Valley? They're like this. What's that?
Oh, dude.
And I said, bro, I said, it's right. I said, they live by UTSA. Like, just keep going up
Yeah.
Bandera. Like, bro,
Yeah.
I said, trust me. I said, guys, y'all will like it. And then,
Yeah.
so, oh, okay, I'll check it out. But the cool thing is, two of the guys work at Peter Piper. And they told,
Dude, they have the best pizza ever. Like by
thank
far
you.
the
That's,
best
that's
pizza.
what I said. I said, dude, favorite pizza. And I said, can you hook it up? And he goes, just say when. We got you. And I'm like, and I said, is there any chance somebody can put $100 on my party card? Like to play the games.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
man, my brother works in the party card section. I was like this. He's a party card attendant. And I'm like this. Damn, I was like, this is my favorite group. Like, hey, you just made a friend for life.
I want y'all to go play Oak Valley so that way I can go play with y'all.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? So I'm trying to, again, and I'm not trying to like, I'm just kind of like, I'm just like an outsider that was just observing. And, hey, here and there, they asked me a couple things and, I tell them and, hey, good shot, man. And it was a lot of good vibes. It was a lot of good vibes. Yeah. Music was played. I made it through the 9 holes. I was able to walk and make it through the 9 holes. So that's my feel good story about the game of golf. All right, Ally, as we close out here, is there any shout outs you want to give as we wrap things up tonight?
I mean, to my golf kiddos before we go, I hope they're not watching this because I said way too many F-bombs. But if they do happen to get through, this podcast, I believe in them. I love them. I wish them the best of luck. My son actually was like, Mom, you're famous. I Googled you and your face popped up and you were like talking to this dude about golf. And I'm like, yeah. So my son, when you get older, if you understand how much I appreciate the game of golf and how I would give it up for you in 2.5 seconds. I love you. And of course, my whole support team and my whole support system. It's been a crazy year, but I mean, I do think that, we will see daylight here pretty soon and get a little bit of relief, but just my people, and thank you for allowing me to continue to chase my dreams. I'm fucking 40, Andy. I'm 40 and I'm still chasing that little white golf ball. I want to go to the Mid-Am next year and hopefully qualify for that Monday. And with my meta glasses, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Man, well, you know what? I know a lot of people. I think we can get you a sponsor.
Dude, you know what? Like, for real though, Andy, like, I would really appreciate that. But, like, there's something to be said when you pay for something yourself. Like, you just appreciate it so much more. And, like, if you were to get me glasses, I would be forever thankful.
Oh, no, I'm not saying glasses. Whoa.
Oh.
Like, hey, like a buy-in for a tournament. Whoa, lady. Like, let's stop.
Because I had just mentioned meta glasses. And so I just, like, put 2 and 2 together.
Hey,
but
hey.
I'm just saying,
hey, you work for Northside, girl. You work for Northside. Come on, hey.
I know, but honestly, like for real though, like whatever does come my way, I try to give it to my kids because things were given to me when I was coming up and through the game, and it's only fair to give back. You know what I mean? So when it comes to me and doing stuff for me, like when I bought my bag, like I put that $1,000 down. Like I bought those swag head covers. I paid for me to go and sit right next to the shitter to go all the way to Pebble Beach. And so like it's something to be said. You appreciate it more when you're able to put your skin in the game. But like whatever stuff that if you were able to help out, like I would want to give that to my team because they need it more than I do.
And I love that. I love to hear as we wrap up. I love to hear that because people always ask me. Well, my former co-host, he's like, "Hey, how come I don't have this or I don't have that?" And I said, "Dude, I had 2 like special Nothing Is OB hats made, and they were samples, and they were great samples." They said, "Bro," I said, "Do you see me wearing one of those?" And I said, "You know what? I gave them to guys. I gave them to people that help make this thing run." I said, "I'll give you whatever I have." I said, "Just tell me what you want, and it's yours."
Yeah.
You know what I said? But I will give whatever I have. I will give to my friends and to the people I love.
Yeah.
And you know what? I say, I don't have a lot. I said, but whatever I have, I was like, I'll give it to you. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm the exact opposite of you. It feels that much sweeter when I get it for free or somebody hands it out to me. I'm like, man, I love handouts. I love.
Oh, no, don't get me wrong.
I love handouts.
I do too.
I love handouts.
I think the kids need it more than I do, and so I'd rather give it to my kiddos. Like
And
I went to Pebble Beach, I was just like, dude, I know we're gonna have a fundraiser. Sorry, I know you're trying to wrap up. But I'm gonna tell this one last story.
Tell it.
But I was just like, dude, like the pro shop there is fucking amazing. Like I ran my credit card bill up so much because I was like, wait, do you guys ship? And they're like, oh yeah, and I was like, hold on.
Oh.
But like I remembered my kids, and I was like, dude, I can't buy all 30 of my kids something from Pebble Beach, but I have to go. Like school had already started, you know what I mean? And so I got 3 really badass gifts from the pro shop. And so when we had our fundraiser, I really do think that we were able to raise so much money because I was like, look, guys, whoever raises the most money, you're gonna get your choice of these 3 things from Pebble Beach. Like, I love you guys. I would have loved to have given all of y'all something from Pebble Beach, but I bought my $1,000 bag and then I bought those swag head covers, and so like I wasn't able to ball out like I wanted to. But I got 3 things, so we're gonna turn this into a contest. The money's gonna go back to the program anyways, and they took it above and beyond. Like, I wanted to raise 5,000, we raised 15,000, and my kids are just awesome, and they really did enjoy like the stuff that I had gotten them. So it was nice.
And that's beautiful, and that's an iconic course, right? That's an iconic course, and I think it's all the more sweeter, right? Because they're gonna have a personal connection to those items, right? As
Yeah.
opposed to it just buying off eBay,
Oh,
ordering on
wait,
your own.
hold on, I gotta show you this. Hold on.
Bring them out, bring them out.
Dude, so I had this shipped, and so whenever I drink, I have to put the alcohol in here, and then I drink from it.
What do you have in there? What is it?
It's just whiskey.
I know,
It's
but what type of whiskey?
my bad, Pendleton. But like whenever I drink, like I have to pour it from my Pebble Beach decanter because that I only drink Pebble Beach.
Damn. See, like I used to wear only Pebble Beach shirts, the cheap ass Pebble Beach brand shirts, because I felt like, man, they're from Pebble Beach, and then I found out
Yeah.
later, no, they're just at Sam's. It's the brand Pebble Beach, you know. I was like, well, why do you have a peach colored Pebble Beach shirt? It's because it says Pebble Beach on it.
But yeah, this was my baby.
Damn. Okay, Ali, I got again. I could talk golf like all
I know,
freaking
I'm
day. I
sorry.
could. Okay, hold on. So let me ask you. To this date, what is maybe the best course you've played? Like just all over the best course that you're like, man, this is it. Was it Pebble?
Like it just lived up to my expectations. You know, I had been wanting to play that course since I was in college. I had played the Tiger Woods video game. Like I knew like when I got there, I knew every break of every green because I had played that game a million times. You know what I mean? So when
Whoa.
I got there, like I had just built this course up in my head and it was pristine weather. It was not windy. It was 70 degrees. Like it was just an absolute dream. Like seriously, after shooting that 86, like I was upset with myself, but I was like, dude, if I'm gonna fucking bogey, like I'm gonna double bogey on Pebble Beach. You know what I mean? And so like I feel like that course really just met and completely exceeded all of my expectations because I took so many pictures. I played 36 holes that first day that I got there, and my phone died by the second 18 because I was just taking so many pictures. And like when I got back, I was just like, these pictures did it absolutely no justice. And so like I remembered my grandpa, he was just like, you know, he had played Pebble Beach way back when, dude, I know you wanted to cut me off like 10 minutes ago, but I'm gonna tell you this last
No, it's
story.
okay. It's okay. I got a 2 hour
But
limit, so wrap it up in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. No, you're
I
good.
got you. I got you. So he had played Pebble Beach like just by sheer happenstance, like way back in the day. And so when I had told him that I was going to go play Pebble Beach, he has Alzheimer's, and so like he sometimes forgets like who I am, and we know, and that it is what it is. But I FaceTimed him when I was at Pebble Beach, and I was like, Grandpa, what hole is this? And it was just like he had clarity. You know, he was like, that's hole number 6. Everything's going to break towards the water. Like, make sure that when you're going up the hill that you hit 3 club. And like, he was just like, so, and I'm like, okay, my phone's going to die. I'll call you back. And then I called him back on hole 13 and he's like, that's hole 13. He goes, I know that everything's going to go to the left. And he was just like able to be, and that made that course so much special. So by far, Pebble Beach is just, it's everything to me.
I think that's how you wrap the show, right there. Guys, that's Ally Trevino, one of my good friends, one of the best up and coming coaches in the game, a hell of a ball striker, and an even better person. Ally, you are fucking badass. I so appreciate your time. I so appreciate you always answering the call, even if it's the next day, right? And always
Yeah.
stepping up and giving your stories because man, fucking beautiful, dude. Great fucking story to finish out, man.
Thank
And
you for having me, Andy. I appreciate it. I'm always here whenever you need me.
see, that's what I'm saying. But like, I always remember that. I'm like, hey, I need somebody. I need somebody. Hey, Allie, thanks so much, girl, and good luck. And man, yeah, post some more stuff about your team, man. I want it. I want to. We want to follow you.
Well,
We want to keep up with you.
you have to get on my team's Instagram. That's separate from all the memes that I post. Hello.
I was like, man, I thought you had to fight through all the bullshit to get to the good,
No, no, no.
the true hearted postings. All right, Allie, you have a good night, man, and wish y'all the best of luck. All right,
All right. Thanks, Andy. Bye.
bye. Dude, Ally Trevino right there, man. She's just one of us. She's just one of us. She is one of us right there. Make sure, guys. I'm gonna tag her team's page on Instagram right there. I truly think that I'm blessed to have these guests on the show, and I appreciate their time, and I freaking love it. Episode 218, grinding it out. Man, Ally truly educated me, and as a teacher and a coach, you try to steal from other good teachers and other good coaches, and I see why she's so good at her freaking job. And I think if anybody's had anybody with dementia or Alzheimer's, that struck a chord right there. That struck a chord, and I think I know it's tough right there. It's tough but to get that at Pebble from a grandfather, the person that taught her the game, man, it's freaking beautiful. I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful to our sponsors, because without them, the show would not be possible. I'm thankful to FOREBROS Tour for being our presenting sponsor. Don't golf alone again, guys. I see it all the time on San Antonio Golf or SA golfers. Guys are golfing alone. They're golfing by themselves, and I'm not gonna lie to you. There's nothing wrong with golfing by yourself, but it gets old after a while. Golf has been proven to be a great mental game and mental health. Come on out, guys. Come on out, see what we're about. We're not for everybody, though. I ain't gonna lie. We're not for everybody, but we could be for you. FOREBROS Tour, never golf alone again. Go to nothatIsOB.com. There's a tab up top at the link. There's a link up top that takes you to our Unknown Golf website. We'll take you to our Facebook page. Never golf alone again, guys. If you don't have a home, FOREBROS Tour has a home for you guys, and I truly mean it. And also, guys, we've been coming all night live from the Texas Chancla studio. Make sure you pray for my guy, Jesse Hernandez. He is out there in Mexico right now. Hey, man, he said he's getting some really good rates on some badass golf courses right now. And he said for some reason he's the only guy out on these courses. But he's living a great golf life right now. Pray for him and his safe return. He's out there in Puerto Vallarta. He's out there in Cancun. But he's getting some prime tee times. He said, man, that golf now, those hot deals are super hot out there. So thankful for his sponsorship of the Texas Chancla studio. Make sure you hit him up at JesseHernandezLaw.com. He is that guy. He is the lawyer. You see him at the Spurs games at Mi Tierra. You see him down there at La Villita. You see him out there at Fiesta. He is that guy, the Texas Chancla. He's truly a great lawyer, an even better human being. Hit him up at 210-807-8656. Man, Texas Chancla Studios, come alive all day. Please continue to support the podcast. Make sure you follow us. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio. We are on Spotify, YouTube. That's golf, bro.